What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Neighbors Podcast. I'm Mitchell, and Jesse's here.
Good morning, everybody.
KB Monday, yet again. Episode 38.
38?
38, yeah, man.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah. I didn't count the Survivor one that we did on Thursday as Neighbors Podcast one, so that's got its own
What's
numbers.
the downloads like this month?
Just October?
Yeah, I mean recently. I feel like
pretty good.
since I've seen you posting,
Yeah.
it looks like the numbers are up.
They are up, yeah, especially from September. So September did altogether 487 total, so that's not too bad. It's more than August, so that was nice. But this month, with the 5 days that we've already had, well, I guess it's counting today, 128. So in 6 days, which is nice.
Moving.
Yeah, and then obviously now it's going to be a little bit skewed because on Thursdays we'll have Survivor episodes. So just another thing for people to listen to, which did really well.
Can you you could see how many downloaded the episode, right?
Per episode, yeah, okay. I can see. Yeah, it did really well.
That's tight.
Yeah, which was I just kind of posted something like, oh, I have ideas, and I have the Survivor one, I have the South Park one, and I have the Blazer one. And then because Survivor was already on, and the South Park one, I think is the one I'm most interested in doing, just because I think it would be most funny, you know. But because Survivor was already on, I was like, all right, let's just do the Survivor one. So Dylan, my buddy who does it with me, comes over on Wednesday. We watch it, come down here, record it, and drops the next day.
So do you watch it and then record?
Yeah.
Or do you watch and record simultaneously?
No, we watch it first. Yeah.
I should listen to it. I never really watched Survivor, though.
You might like it. The beginning of the game is a little bit slower, and then the end is some of the seasons are just fucking insane. And
is it kind of like what's it kind of like, I guess? Don't they do competitions and shit?
Yeah, so the basic Survivor thing is it's 39 days on the island, and the point is to be the last one. So throughout the whole game, you don't want people to vote for you, because obviously if you get the most votes, you get voted off the island. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Except for most of the time, it's not the weakest. It's in the beginning, it's who's the hardest to be around, or doing something sketchy, and then during the middle of the game, it's who might beat me, so they need to go. So it's this cool social strategy, really cool game. I love it, and there's just, in my opinion, there's just no way that it's scripted or anything, because they're all it would be so easy to spot, because if you've ever watched something that's scripted slightly, they're terrible actors.
Yeah.
And they just seem like pretty authentic people. That's the 39th season, which is insane.
39th season? It's been around that long?
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
39?
Yeah. And they already have 40 coming.
Do they do once a year?
Twice. Yeah, once in spring, once in fall.
So when did it start?
When was the first Survivor Borneo?
20 years ago? Had to be, right?
Yeah, something like that. Survivor Season 1 release. We'll look
2000?
I think it was in the 90s. No, it's May 31st, 2000, yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah, Jeff Probst, the guy who runs it, has been there the whole time. You should look up Jeff Probst, because he doesn't look like he's aged at all.
Maybe he drinks blood.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so the
yeah, I don't want to go on a tangent right now.
So the game is it goes in days of 3. So the first day is kind of a chill day. The second day is usually a challenge for reward. So they're in Fiji most of the time now. They were switching up locations like China, the Pacific, Australia. They did one. But now they've kind of settled on Fiji just because it's really nice. And I think that they can gauge the weather really easily of knowing when monsoon season is. There's been a couple seasons where they've had to be evacuated from the beach because there's a hurricane.
Yeah, what about the Pacific? Was it just cold as shit for them?
Yeah, it's fucking freezing. And it makes for somewhat bad TV because they want people to be able to walk around and talk and do shit. Yeah, not just be
wish we were in fucking Fiji right now, dude.
Yeah. So, and then on the third day, there's another challenge for immunity, and if it's the team-based one, then if the team gets an immunity idle, they don't go to tribal council. If they lose, they go to tribal council, have to vote one person out. But there's so many twists now with hidden immunity idols like for personal use for one person. There's like sometimes it's like we're voting 2 people out today, and you're like,
What?
oh fuck, no. And then this season it's called the Island of the Idols. So 2 players who have won in the past, one of them has won twice, are like on a separate island, and the contestants randomly get chosen to go there, and they get taught like a survivor lesson, and then they get a chance to like compete against one of the 2 people who are there. If they win, then they get an idol or whatever the prize is at that time. It's super fun.
It's kind of like a video game almost.
Dude, it would be a really fun video game. They had one a long time ago.
Gonna go fight the boss.
Yeah. Do they have
learn
one?
a move.
Yeah.
And
Kinda.
then maybe bring him back.
Yeah. Yeah. They had one in Africa. They had to like build like these sharp stick, like they had already built it, the show did, to keep lions out, bro.
Yeah, that's what I immediately thought when you said Africa.
Yeah.
It's lions.
Yeah.
They're just competing in competition. Lion just runs in.
Yeah, dude. I always say that about the water. I'm like, how do they make sure that no one just gets attacked by a shark?
Dude.
They don't.
Yeah,
I think it's just so rare.
It is rare.
Yeah.
And
they probably have boats and stuff.
We get blown out of proportion because, we watch like Jaws and
Shark
stuff.
Week
Shark
and
Week and shit. Yeah. I'm supposed to go try, learn how to surf when I go to Hawaii, and I'm spooked about sharks. Their bite power is not very random facts.
Yeah, their bite pressure per square inch is
it's like less than ours, right?
Ours. The difference is that they have serrated teeth.
Oh yeah.
So when they bite down on you, their neck muscle and shit is super strong. So they just like a dog, like when they're playing tug of war, but that shit slices.
So do
you
sharks have traps?
No, I don't think. Oh, I thought you meant like set
Is that
traps.
and SpongeBob they make the shark buff as fuck.
Yeah, because it's scary too, man.
Was he doesn't Weenie Hut Jr.
Is that what it is?
Weenie Hut Jr. is like the little one where like SpongeBob goes to lift.
Oh,
then there's like the big
Yeah.
lobster. That's what it is. There's a shark, I feel like, too.
There's a shark for sure. The lobster's huge.
Anyway,
yeah,
that's just another stupid thought.
but yeah, that's have traps. Yeah, but sharks are crazy, man. I actually really like them.
I'm terrified of the ocean.
I'm not scared of them.
That's like me and my dad were talking yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like when we die, what would you want? Like we're out in the woods, and we both want to be cremated. We don't want to be buried.
Yeah, I'd like to be cremated too.
And he's like, just dump me into the ocean. I'm like, you want to go to the ocean? He's like, yeah. I'm like, why the fuck you want to go to the ocean? He's like, why not? I'm like, dude, it's terrifying. And he's just like the opposite of me. He's like, no, it's not. It's free.
Yeah, like it's peaceful.
I guess. I don't want to
I
be
told you
dumped
that
in the
story
ocean.
about Lou Zamperini the other day, right? I think I told it on the podcast.
I don't know.
Where I remember because we were, I think we smoked or something.
Yeah.
When the guy died on their raft when they were shot down.
Oh, yes.
And he let him
yes.
sink down. They were just like, they didn't fuck with him. So it is peaceful, but it is scary. I'm not saying that it's not.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be burnt in the ashes. It doesn't really matter if I get dumped in the ocean at that point anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really like sharks because I think that they're really interesting. We don't know a lot about them. You know that I'm pretty sure we still don't know where like great white sharks give birth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Great whites, I mean, sharks are just in general kind of scary to me, but they are very they're giant animals swimming in water, super fast.
Yeah, they're
really
place.
Good hunters.
Yeah. Oh, really good hunters. Yeah. They figured that shit out. I mean, and it's crazy that specifically great whites, because that's a lot of the times where like Shark Week those are the things that they follow. It's not like they're following mako sharks and shit. In different parts of the ocean, they hunt completely differently.
Yeah.
So like in South Africa, like Cape Town area where there's all the seals, that's where you see them come from the bottom straight up, like torpedo up and breach the water.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. Could you imagine you're
you're just surfing?
Yeah.
Just blast through the center of your surfboard?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah, so those ones are that way, but then there's other ones that, attack more normally.
I watched
or what you would expect to be more normal.
I think it was sharks. No, it was dolphins. But they were like coming up into shallow water.
Yeah.
And then basically forcing these fish to like move farther upstream where they knew that it didn't go.
Yeah.
It was just kind of shallow there. and they would like slam in, and then eventually that fish would just be stuck there.
Yeah.
And they would just
Eat it.
I don't know why I'm thinking of dolphins, but
Well,
I never really watched Shark Week though.
Yeah, dolphins are super cool too. Like dolphins have been known to even save people from shark attacks.
Yeah, I've
Like
seen that.
schools, I don't know if they're called schools of dolphins, herds, packs, flocks,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
whatever that verb
They'll
is.
like
It's not a verb.
yeah, it's a like noun.
It's an adjective.
Maybe.
It's a describing word.
Yeah, I think it's a noun.
I don't fucking know, dude.
But they would.
I think it's a noun.
I think it is, man.
I'm sure you're right, Mitch.
I don't know, but yeah, if on the off chance that someone's swimming and about to get fucking eaten, and there's a bunch of dolphins around, they've been known to like.
They just start
like,
beating up the shark.
Yeah, like no way.
Like, what's good, bro? I'll be fucking with
Yeah,
the humans.
orcas do that
They
shit
feed
to
us.
sharks all the time too.
Orcas are brutal.
Yeah, they're crazy.
I watched orcas hunting like what's the biggest whale? Sperm whale?
Oh,
It's
really?
Huge.
Yeah. No, well, the biggest whale I think is blue whale, but
Or blue whale. Sperm whale is also giant.
huge. Yeah,
Like,
it's giant.
Huge.
Yeah, yeah.
And they keep their it was like I think they call the mom a cow,
Oh, yeah,
just like an elk,
yeah.
and then the father's a bull,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have a little baby, which I don't know what they would call, but it was
Calf
like
or something.
yeah, a calf.
Yeah.
It was swimming next to it, blah blah. All these fucking orcas come up and they hunt those babies because even though it's
Yeah.
a baby, it's still a whale. It's huge.
Yeah.
So it was like swimming on top of the sperm whale, and it would push the sperm whale would go up out the water and keep the baby like just above water,
Yeah.
and they would like circle around and try to get waves to like splash the baby off the top of the sperm whale.
Wow.
And they're super smart to the sense where they started to get attacked by 2 male sperm whales.
Yeah.
So they left and they like dipped around, and as soon as they chased, they flanked back and got the baby.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like military type tactics.
Dude, yeah. Imagine getting fucking slapped by a sperm whale tail.
We'd be dead.
Yeah.
That's like us slapping a spider off the top of the table.
Yeah.
And they're good though.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck.
They
Falls
are, though.
1,000 stories, hits the ground, runs off.
Yeah. It's like shit.
Yeah, we're weak, dude.
I don't know. Do you think we are?
I always think about that with bugs. Like if I flick a bug off the top of your stand right here, that's about 6 feet off the ground. No, it's 5 feet.
Yeah. Something
And
like that.
say I flick a spider. That's easily Big Pink in Portland and a human flying off of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. For a spider. Yeah.
It just lands. It's good.
Yeah.
And it got flicked by a giant.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
solid.
That's
If
a
we
good
got
point.
flicked by something relatively bigger than us like that, relative to us and the spider,
Oh, yeah. But we fucked.
if we got flicked, dude, our head's flying off for one. We can't fly off buildings.
Yeah.
We're done. Good thing nothing's bigger or smarter than us. Well,
Smarter.
there's bigger, but
Yeah.
smarter, yeah.
Yeah.
And has opposable thumbs.
Yeah. The ability
Imagine
to
if
like,
a whale had opposable thumbs.
grab that orca. Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, I don't know why. I think that the water it's scary for sure. Like there's a lot of stuff like the what's the trench called? Mariana Trench.
Yeah, it's really deep.
It's the deepest place on Earth. I think it's like having 2 Mount Everest.
Yeah, I've seen some graphic on it.
It's like 7 miles deep, I think.
That's so far.
Yeah, I
The
think
pressure
that's what it
down
is.
there?
Oh yeah, there's only been like 2 people who have ever gone down there. And James Cameron, the guy who did like Titanic, Avatar, like, he's one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Dude,
because he did.
they sent him down that little like sub, like it's
Yeah.
a single person sub,
Yeah.
which would be scary as fuck.
Oh, dude. Well, okay. This is what I always think about. You know how, I don't know, like, you know when you go alone to like play a game, like hide and seek even, and you're in kind of like a creepy area,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to sit there for forever, and you're by yourself.
Yeah, you get
You
spooked.
kind of get spooked a little bit. Now imagine being 5 miles in the ocean, deep. You can't just
Pitch
leave.
black.
Yeah, you can't just like walk out and be like, I'm good.
Nah,
You
dude.
see something?
I mean,
Oh, fuck.
even when I go hunting, I'm not scared, but I'm definitely on edge when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like way out there.
Yeah, I feel like it would be spooky.
Yeah. Well, there's stuff in the back of your head. Like you see like beer. You see like bear poop or.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen any cougars.
How big
but
are
they
bear
are
around
there.
here though?
Black bear?
Yeah. Your gun.
I
could
don't
kill
know
that
the exact size, but yeah, my 308 would for sure just slam a black bear.
Yeah.
And if not, it doesn't kill him. It's like he's not going to come towards me anymore.
Yeah, it's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just have to know, like, not going on a tangent again, but, like, bears are in, like, reprod. That's like reprod is, like, trees that were planted, like, 8 years ago.
Yeah,
so they're,
so
like,
super
8
big.
feet tall now.
Yeah.
And they like to go in there, which, if you're a hunter, you probably shouldn't go in there because you can't see anyway. That's spooky.
Yeah.
But you just get spooked. You hear shit. The forest is really loud when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
A leaf sounds like someone's walking.
Yeah,
Shit
for
like
sure.
that.
Yeah, I think that kind of stuff, yeah, like you said, it's probably just a leaf
Yeah, your mind just
going
races.
whatever. You just think it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a movie coming out with Kristen Stewart, which is like they're at the bottom of the ocean, like doing some like mining,
like deep or something.
Yeah, like deep, and then like the thing starts to break, and they have to like.
That is so terrifying to me. I don't know why, dude.
Yeah, they like go, and I think it's like mermaids. Like they like find evil mermaid type things. Like
They don't help
like
them?
alien creatures. Nah.
Fuck,
And so it looked
dude.
interesting.
I mean, that stuff is interesting. I didn't really like I never really liked cartoony, Marvel-y movies, but the new Marvel movies, like, since you talk about them and stuff, I watch them, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, which ones would you say that you didn't like?
I didn't really enjoy Doctor Strange much.
Really?
But I
That's
don't think
surprising.
I've went through it the whole way. Probably
Oh.
fell asleep halfway. It just didn't gauge my interest immediately. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought was awesome.
Yeah, I think too. It has more humor.
It has
in
more humor.
and there is humor in Doctor Strange, but it is a little bit more dry because of just who he is. But his powers are super cool. They're coming out with Doctor Strange 2, I think like next November, and it's like the first horror MCU movie because he like goes into like hell.
That's scary as hell too.
Yeah. So like that's like his kind of I don't know, his realm is like that magic, like different shit.
So I guess maybe for that one, I'm not super into like the magic side of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But with regards to the mermaid thing, I think that'd be kind of cool. There's not a whole lot of mermaid or evil mermaids. What
Yeah.
the fuck.
For sure.
If I saw a mermaid, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, Black Panther
chokes you out.
Black Panther 2, I think, is supposed to have Namor in it, which is like the MCU's version of Aquaman.
Black Panther was tight.
Yeah, it was cool.
I want to watch
Best
Avatar
Picture?
again.
Nah.
I want to watch Avatar again.
Avatar's ass.
What?
I hate Avatar.
Why?
Because I think it's just a remake of any Native American movie you've ever seen.
Well, yeah, it definitely has ties to Native American.
Visually awesome. Super cool. What they've done with the CGI and colorful and all that stuff. Really cool. Plot line, I just didn't like it. So a lot of times that's what brings me out of it. But I can say like it's visually awesome. The acting wasn't bad. They have great actors and Sigourney Weaver's in it. A bunch of different people. But it's so crazy because, I just didn't enjoy it. I mean, it made a shitload of money.
I mean, I've only watched it once. So
Yeah,
I'm
so-
kind of like that where I watch a movie and then I don't really watch it again.
Yeah.
Unless I really, really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been seeing so much of it lately. I'm like, I should watch Avatar
Well, that's because
again.
Disney purchased Fox, so they got Avatar, and then they're about to make like after this Star Wars. I think they might take a break for 1 year, but then it goes like Avatar, Star Wars, Avatar, Star Wars, Avatar, Star Wars,
They're just going to make a bunch of avatars? Why are they doing that, though?
because it makes hella money.
Yeah, but it's just fucking trash product.
Sometimes, but we have to see.
Most times, Star Wars is garbage as fuck.
Yeah, but I would argue that Star Wars has always been garbage.
I mean, that's fine, but at least it had some sort of appeal because it didn't come out every year.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but like also think about think about relevancy and how much stuff comes out now with how much there is in social media. There's YouTube, Netflix,
I'm thinking
Hulu.
of stuff personally for myself.
Yeah,
and I
for
hate
sure.
the Netflix side of things too. Like Netflix just starts pumping out shows. They need
Yeah.
to make money. I get it.
Yeah.
They got to do stuff, but like,
Well, I mean, that's just what you're competing against is all the content that comes out on every platform. So in order to keep things relevant, you've got to go every 2 years.
Yeah.
Like,
that Disney purchasing Fox fucked some shit up for football too for people.
oh,
They
really?
took Fox off DirecTV,
Oh, yeah.
which is like plays football. People purchase DirecTV solely for like NFL Sunday tickets sometimes.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I guess that does suck, but I guess the positive is it's all being basically moved over to ESPN, and the Disney streaming service is
I'm looking forward to that.
It's gonna have it's $70 a year, and then for like I think a couple more dollars, you can get Hulu and ESPN.
Yeah,
like,
that's a
attached
deal.
to it is a fucking steal. A lot of people don't know this, but I think Disney
For
owns
a
like
year?
50% of Hulu too. And
Oh,
so
really?
they pulled Disney just announced that they're pulling all marketing on their like TV stuff for Netflix. Like Netflix might get fucked here soon.
I mean, I kind of figured that they might at some point.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is going to subscription based and
Well, and they were the first,
keeping their
but they're the
content.
first ones to do it. Like I don't think all cancel Netflix, but because all these other services and studios and stuff are doing their own thing, a lot of stuff that people really enjoyed about Netflix is leaving. Like Parks and Rec, The Office, Friends, all those things are.
that's
leaving.
all going to
NBC,
which is going to have their own service.
They're gonna have theirs, but then it's like then it gets back into cable.
Yeah.
You just have all these different packages. It's just slightly different.
But that Disney package with ESPN and Hulu, like that's prime for someone like me.
I think it's like $11 a month, $12 a month.
Yeah,
something like
$70. I mean, most time people are spending minimum $100 on fucking cable.
Yeah. Oh,
or dish or
yeah,
salad. And minimum is what I'm saying.
Minimum,
Like,
yeah, for like
most
bare
likely
shit.
a lot more than that.
Yeah, yeah. I love. That's the thing is like, it's really hard to cancel all that shit. Is because I love to like, without it I can't watch like the Blazers.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever, because most of their before this year, because a lot of these games now are going to be on like ESPN and on national television. The Blazers, because of how well they've done in the past 3 years, are getting a lot of kudos.
Well, they better. They might not though. We're still Northwest, dude. We get fucked all the time.
What do you mean?
Well,
No,
in
they
terms
already
of
announced it.
Did they?
Yeah,
I
there's
didn't
like
see
there's
all
like
the
60
national
games on like national TV or something.
What
crazy.
the hell?
Or like
For
a
the
lot.
Blazers?
Yeah, like a lot. 60 might
Wow.
be really wrong, but
But it's
it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
They've moved it up tremendously.
Well, as long as I don't have to listen to shitty announcers all the time.
Do you not like the two Blazer ones we got? Or
Oh, I don't mind them.
Yeah.
Calabro's kind of old school, but
did you like Mike and Mike? Or
I
no?
did enjoy Mike and Mike a lot.
I love Mike and Mike. Yeah.
I did. I was really actually kind of upset when they got replaced.
Me too.
I enjoy Calabro and Lamar Hurd. I think Calabro says stupid shit, so I just get annoyed. But I'm there to watch the game. But there's more people on like ESPN and TNT that are
bug
just
you?
So annoying.
Who's the one? Chris Webber.
There's a bunch of them. Okay, Chris Webber's just dumb as shit. And
yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna play middle guy here too, because like in podcasts or like radio, you just gotta pick a side and go with it. Chris Webber is an idiot.
Idiot or just bad at that?
I think he's actually not very smart.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I would. Yeah. I don't know.
I
much
was
about
watching the game live when he was talking about doing the Blazer game, and he's like, Damian Lillard, he wears number 0 because nobody wanted him. He told me about it.
It's not. Yeah.
I mean, when he's announced, they say the letter O.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, come on. You're on national TV.
Yeah.
Just blatantly lying. Nobody wants him, so we chose 0.
Yeah. Yeah, no. People definitely want it.
There's that.
They want him now.
Doris Burke just, like, when people talk a lot, I guess their job, but Doris Burke talks a lot. I feel like a lot of people undercut Blazers, which me being a passionate
Yes, I
fan
agree
really
with that.
just kind of annoys me. Because you can clearly tell that they don't watch the Blazers much.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, no, that was the thing that Bill Walton would piss me off. Even though Bill Walton was a huge reason why we won the championship,
yeah.
he pisses me off because then Luke Walton went to the Lakers, and then he was just Lakers dude.
Yeah.
And then he just shit on the Blazers all the time, and it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, he
like,
does.
what's up, man?
He's
But there's a couple. I mean, I don't really
He's-
mind a bunch
he's
of people.
fried, dude.
I love, yeah, probably Jeff Van Gundy. I like to listen to.
like Van Gundy.
I like Van Gundy.
I don't mind him.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, like Troy Aikman just never stops talking
Yeah.
the entire time. Plays going, I'm still going. I'm just gonna keep talking this whole time.
Yeah.
Whole game, 2.5 hours. It's like no downtime.
Yeah, that's rough.
So
It's a huge thing in sporting events,
I'm
is
picky,
like
though.
being able to, because you're watching the game and because you do need some like play casting to be good at it, to be tolerable and knowledgeable, but
Yeah.
not overbearing is a huge thing.
Well,
I think it'd be hard.
you don't really watch football much.
No, not really.
Last year on Monday night, they had Joe Tessitore, and then Jason Witten had retired. He's back with the Cowboys. He unretired and went back to the Cowboys to play. Jason Witten and Tessitore was horrible.
Oh, really?
Tessitore did college for a long time. Witten just couldn't spit words out. Like, what do you say? What's that saying where it's like, you really kicked? Fuck, I can't even think of it now because he said something like, "Oh, they kicked his own foot." Like they shot themselves in the foot. He was
yeah.
like, they kicked his own foot. Like stuff like that every week.
And
then like
couldn't remember the saying, so he just went with something.
Yeah, couldn't remember
Yeah.
it. Oh, right out the skull. Just random shit. You're like, what the hell are they saying, dude?
You think it's stuff that like their dad said to them?
Maybe,
And that's
or
just
they
what
just,
it was.
or maybe
Like
it's
my
just
mom says some stupid like sayings. She'll be like, "Your eyes look like 2 piss holes in the snow. It's colder than a witch's tit." And you're
Yeah, I
like,
like
dude,
those old sayings.
what the fuck?
Brett Favre.
She'll say some stuff, and I'm like, dude, you literally just made that shit up. No one has ever said that.
I was watching something with Brett Favre the other day, and he was like, "Oh, that football," in his little accent.
Yeah.
That football just came down like butterfly with sore feet. Just, I like those sayings. I like those sayings.
Yeah.
They're funny as hell.
But like, what does that mean?
Man, it's raining harder than a dog pissing on flat rock.
What? Yeah. What? Like, yeah. I don't know. It's weird as fuck.
What do you call those? I don't even.
Yeah, I guess like old sayings, just sayings,
There's a bunch of them.
metaphors. I guess to some extent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's not really a metaphor. I don't know.
Anyway, we were talking about movies.
Yeah.
We talked about announcers that we hate.
Yeah.
And Blazers. You watched The Joker the other day.
I did watch Joker. Yeah.
Can we spoil it?
Yeah. I mean,
People can fast forward if they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear. I'm not going to watch it.
You're not
in
going
theater.
To? Yeah. Okay, so I'll give like a non-spoilery take. And
yeah,
then
I want to hear your
spoil
take
it, and
because
then-
you have good
Yeah.
analysis of movies.
So
I'm just gonna be your audience right here, quietly.
yeah. So the movie is very centered on just Joaquin Phoenix and being the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
There's some supporting cast, but really not fucking much. It's basically just
That's
him
tough.
and his. So the movie seems slow, and it
Mhm.
is. There are definitely a lot of scenes where you're sitting there and it's just like semi close-ups of him like doing facial expressions or like uncontrollably laughing. And
How's the laugh in it? Shitty?
no, it's okay. It's okay.
I just watched Dark Knight
Yeah.
and just briefly, not all of it. The scene where he's getting beat up in the
Heath.
yeah,
in the interrogation
by
room.
Batman.
Yeah.
and that laugh. It's like,
Okay, so here's the
holy
biggest
shit.
difference. Here's the biggest difference. Heath Ledger's Joker was charismatic and crazy,
yeah,
but charismatic, and had an obvious reason to be there.
Mhm.
Like he had a role. He was a mobster basically, right? He was the guy who was like, I'm smarter and better than all the mobsters that are in Gotham right now, and as long as I just play certain shit, I can be the top dude, and I can burn all this fucking money that I made and just be insane, right?
Yeah.
And Heath Ledger, and he is very grounded, right? This one is very much focusing on the descent into like he's already kind of crazy, but the real descent into like madness and psychopathy and like
well, and that's what I figured it was going
it's
to be
very
about.
dark. So like if you're looking to go to a movie, I mean anyone who if the title's The Joker, if you know anything about comics, he's not a hero. He's not an anti. It's not like watching Deadpool or even like
he's
Venom.
really just a menace.
He's just he's he's crazy. He's
Yeah.
literally has a problem. I think that I can't complain too much about the actual movie. Like, you know how usually I'll have like certain critiques, like just talking with Avatar, or like Star Wars or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I'll have certain critiques. I don't think that I can even complain about the movie. The acting was great. They achieved everything that they were trying to achieve. It looked good.
Was Joaquin Phoenix good? I feel like he was a wrong choice for
No,
it.
dude, he's real good.
Is he?
Yeah, man, he's really good. But I hated the movie because it's just too dark for me. And that's
what do you mean
saying
dark?
something.
Like the descent into being crazy, like that process is dark, or is it a
That
lot
is-
of dialogue between him and his thought process? Like,
parts of that, and then what he does and how he feels about it.
I thought it wasn't like violent.
No, it's fucking violent.
It
There
is?
are parts that are violent. Yeah, yeah.
Like
There are
towards himself or towards others.
others mostly. Yeah,
So people were saying it was fucked up.
it is fucked up. But so that's the as a whole. Like, I can't complain about the movie. Like, really, like there's
Yeah.
some things that I can
you
like
didn't-
say
you
that
don't
I
like
didn't like it, but I hated it like to my core. I hated
Mhm.
it. And so that's the non-spoilery
I like
version.
that. Let the hate out, Mitch.
Yeah. So here's the spoiler version, and I'll do it quick, so you don't have to. If you're gonna watch
1.5 minutes.
probably like 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that long, but give it a little bit of time. It's too real. in terms of what's happening right now in TV, or not in TV, but in life, with how, like, I'm not a person that thinks that video games, movies, TV, film, music incite violence. I don't believe that.
Really
at
seems
all.
like they pushed it with this one.
They fucking push that shit,
And they
hard.
continue to do
Dude,
so.
So there's
It's like they want someone to come shoot up a theater.
Yes,
dude.
it's feels that way, and the media right now talks so much about it. When I was there are cops there.
Yeah.
I walked in, cops are going into each theater. Which is like, it's a good thing, because when The Dark Knight Rises came, it's not a good thing, but it's a thing that kind of has to happen. When The Dark Knight Rises came out, the dude who shot up Aurora said he was the fucking Joker.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he said. Like, and he had like the Joker cards, and like he played that character and was fucking insane. Like, he's an insane person. So I understand why they needed cops there. It's very sad, and I think that's why why I don't like it a lot too, is because, like, we already had one person who actually did it. Mm-hmm. And then you create a movie about doing it too. Like, not necessarily like going to a movie theater and shooting shit up, but it just pushes a boundary that I think that if it came out once shit dies down, because things in the United States specifically will inevitably die down.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's the rising tide, right? Like, you wait for it to fucking recede again. But so in the beginning of the movie, there's he gets beat up all the time, like jumps and shit, because he's a clown who's like dancing and like trying to get, there's like an out of the store's going out of business, so he's like pointing to go there. It's like, everything must go. They steal his sign, like beat the shit out of him, and he's in full clown gear, so it's like weird. And at that time, I don't even know what time it's based in, probably like 70s or 80s. It doesn't really say. But just based off clothing and smoking everywhere. Like, that's my one critique is that you never see him light a cigarette, but he's smoking a cigarette in almost every scene.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. So, it's weird.
Lighting a cigarette's cool. Whip it out.
Yeah.
Whip out your Zippo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure now. Obviously, I've only seen it once. Yeah. But every time I was like, he's smoking a cigarette. And, like, there's no way he could be doing that, because he was just doing shit with both hands, turned around, there's a cigarette in his mouth. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where he's getting beat up on the train by these guys, and one of his clown like coworkers gave him a gun to like protect himself, and he loses his job because they're not supposed to have it on him, but he keeps it on him, because this is also like, Gotham is like rioting, like in this end, like it's really bad, impoverished area, similar to like LA riots.
Yeah. And
so he's doing like dancing and doing stuff at a children's hospital, and the gun like falls out of his pocket.
Oh shit.
And so he gets fired. And so like that's like a trigger, right? And he starts getting beat up by these three like Wayne Enterprise guys, people who work for Thomas Wayne, because Bruce Wayne is still a kid.
Yeah.
And they're beating him up, and he turns around and he shoots him.
Why the hell is Thomas Wayne beating him up? Do they explain that?
Not
no, I'm
Thomas
saying the people that work for him.
They're just bullies.
So it's just a coincidence that it's Batman's dad's henchmen that are beating the shit out of Joker. Well, it's not necessarily.
It's just people who work for Thomas, because not like they probably don't even know him. It would be similar to like if I said, "Oh, Amazon employees." Like, it's not like they would be Jeff Bezos' gooses.
Oh, okay. Goons, yeah, I guess he does run a multi-million-dollar corporation.
And then he's running for mayor. But what happened was, he has a condition where he can't stop. Like, at times he has this like Tourette's, but it's laughing. Mm-hmm. And so they ask him
D&D.
What?
Like D&D.
What about
when we played?
Oh yeah.
I kept getting cast with that dude. Kept casting.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Something laugh
or whatever. Yeah. And you just laugh. Yeah. So he can't stop, right? And so when he's trying to give him a card that says like, I have a condition, they like start to beat him up. So that's why the fight starts going. And then he shoots them. But then in the movie he talks about how he doesn't like, it didn't bother him. It like made him like happy.
That he got beat up?
No, that he got to kill those people.
Oh.
And Gotham.
So that's realistic right there. That's like someone who's actually a murderer,
who's a serial killer,
who like
finally does it.
Squirrel or something.
Yeah,
like, wow.
And like finally does it, and it's like, oh fuck, I like this shit.
That's fucked.
So then it descends deeper, and there are parts of the movie that are actually like fake, like meaning they're all figment of his imagination. That's not really happening, and then they go back. And you find out a bunch of different shit about him, and that kind of, again, dives deeper, and he ends up going on a show, just similar to, like, Jimmy Kimmel, like a talk show. And so, again, if you're hearing this part, like, don't listen if you want to see the movie.
Yeah.
shoots him, the show host guy, who's played by
Holy
Robert
shit.
De Niro. And he just sits there, like drops the gun, whatever, fucks, gets caught. And then because of what he did with the 3 in the subway, like the rest of the city is actually like for whoever did that because they're rich people. And so it's like a very much war on rich and impoverished and poor and shit. So they're like everyone in the city is starting to wear like clown masks because it talked about that the guy might have been wearing a mask that was a clown or had makeup that was a clown. And so he's in the car, somebody hits the car, they bring him out, and like they take him out of the car, like technically like the guys who are on his side put him on top of this cop car, and he gets up and he starts like dancing, and everyone's like cheering him on, and it's like, yeah, like loves him. So I think
that's kind of a cool part of the movie, I guess. Not that he shot the guy, but that scene, what you just explained to me right there.
So the movie, like I said, is very well put together. The acting's great and all this stuff, but to me, it's just so like he's being idolized and worshipped by a city because he's going around murdering people that have money, and like that's a very real thing that's happening just specifically in the United States right now. That I think in terms of like if this would have came out maybe 4 years ago in the same sense, whatever, it might have been okay where people where myself wouldn't have been so sensitive about it. And like I said, I don't believe this movie is going to create violence.
Yeah, and I don't know you to be a sensitive person either.
And I think that if any violence does happen, it's because of how often the news media is going to be talking about the movie.
They've never done this for me. And you know me, I'm like always kind of on the political side, not even politics. I just read about stuff. I'm in the know on stuff like that. 2 weeks ago, I saw a report, and it was like a FBI release that there's chatter all over the internet about the Joker release and to like not go to theaters. And I saved it actually because it was like 2 weeks prior to it coming out, and I'm like, okay, if something does happen, and then since I saved that, leading up to the movie, it's like they just pushed it so hard on the news. They have pushed it really hard. And they don't do that with movies ever.
No, and the thing is, and what's kind of scary too is how some of the people reacted like at the end of the movie. Like some people are like hyped. And so for me, like I think the point of the movie, because I think Joaquin Phoenix was in an interview, and they asked him, like, do you think this movie is going to create violence? And he, like, left because he's pissed. Like,
really?
Yeah, because he's just like, that's a fucking, like, he's mad about it. Because he obviously,
he doesn't want that.
Yeah, he doesn't want that shit to happen. And he doesn't want to talk about it happening because there's a chance that when you start talking about it, it's just going to happen.
Just stop talking about the
shit. So he was just over it. But there are some people where I think the movie was meant to make you feel disgusting. It's meant to make you feel like, holy fuck, this movie is gross. And that's what they're trying to achieve and make you go, there's something wrong. The overall theme is there's something wrong with how people with mental illnesses are treated. We need to figure that out and help get them into a place of not doing shit like this. That's what it's supposed to do. But some people are like he's fucking right. And it's like the only time he was right in killing the people, and not necessarily right, but he was defending himself.
Yeah, he's getting beat up.
He's getting the shit kicked out of him, like bad. Like he's knocked out. Like they punched him, knocked him out, and are still stomping on him. And then he wakes up, and then he's, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to defend the shit out of yourself. But other than, then he descends into being like, I'm just going to.
That was like the first domino.
So one of the things, too, is that you find out that he's adopted by his mom. And his mom says that he wasn't, and that he's actually Thomas Wayne's son because she worked for him. But then what you find out is that she was actually crazy, was in Gotham's like Arkham Asylum, and then somehow adopted a baby. Yeah. She let her husband or boyfriend at the time like chain Joaquin Phoenix's Joker up to a wall when he was a kid and like beat the shit out of him.
What?
So you find all this stuff out. You don't see it, but you find all this stuff out. He smothers his mom with a pillow while she's in the hospital.
Jesus.
And the whole time, like it's not like he puts the pillow and then it cuts scene. It's like you're watching him do that shit.
Yeah.
And just for someone who's really close with his mom, like it's just a weird
Dude.
It's a rough movie to watch. And it's going to make money, and it will probably be a sequel. They did a decent job of building up like Thomas Wayne, and he goes and even talks to Bruce. So Batman.
How old is he?
He's like 10, maybe.
The timeline doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because once he's like 24.
Yeah.
But I think Batman specifically, like in the Nolan films, he's a little bit older, but I think Batman like starts being Batman at a relatively young age too.
Like
I mean, in different ones.
Like a Spider-Man kind of thing.
I don't think 16, but I think like 20, 22. But in this movie, like you see Thomas Wayne and Martha get killed, just get shot. Not by him, but just by like during the riots. You know, he's rich, and they're like, "You just do what you deserve." And it's just like, I get it, and it's probably really comic book accurate. It was just something for me. Like can't complain about it.
Yeah.
Just not for me. Just not a movie I like.
Batman, growing up, was my favorite. I don't know if you want to call him a superhero, vigilante.
He's a hero though. He's a
but
superhero.
He was my favorite.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of Superman. I didn't read a whole bunch of comics in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I knew of Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's
I know about
the
that
biggest
stuff,
for sure.
But Batman was my guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Batman, it was just something that, you know, you usually walk into a movie, even, you know, if you walk into like Venom or you walk into Deadpool, like an anti-hero. Now, I'm not even saying that the Joker is that. Like, I'm not saying that. I knew what the Joker was before I went to watch the movie, but there's absolutely no redeemable qualities about him, which makes it even harder to watch. Mm-hmm. But you can feel sorry for him because, like, he was on medication. Then they cut, like, the state funding for him to be with a state council to get medication, so he no longer is on that. Like, that's what the narrative is about, really. Yeah. The narrative is about people who have mental illnesses need to be better looked after and treated so that this shit doesn't happen. Oh,
most definitely. I would hope that their goal was to bring awareness to mental illness in the U.S. because that is clearly that's a major problem in the U.S. right now. This time, day and age, mental illness, people on their phones, people not, you know, you get where I'm going with it. But it seems like they just,
I don't think that they put enough emphasis on needing the help and how other people play a role in helping.
Yeah, like dealing with that problem is not fucking, I mean, obviously defending himself in that situation, but it's not like enjoying that. It's like you enjoying that is recognizing that, oh shit, like I have a legit problem here.
Yeah. And so that's it wasn't like he had the mental illness, was off his medication, and just started doing erratic things and hated it and like cried and was like, why the fuck did I just do that? Yeah. He was like, I like this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel sorry about it. And that's I don't know. And like I said, I think that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to make you feel gross and uncomfortable and disgusted by it and try and make you, I don't know, maybe think about helping or voting a different way.
Well, I don't really like Joaquin Phoenix's face, so I'll probably never watch it. But
it's a lot of close-ups on it. So yeah.
I don't want to see his face. But what do you feel about, I guess that we're on the subject of Batman. Do you think The Dark Knight is like one of the best movies of all time?
I think The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger is up there, top 3 superhero
it's like top
movies.
5. I think it might be a top 5 movie for me.
So yeah,
overall.
It's top 3s. It also just depends on what you're what you want out of those movies. This is what I always say. Like, people are like, "Well, God, you got 99% on Rotten Tomatoes." Like,
well, that's stupid.
I don't give a fuck
that's
what
stupid.
Scott and Elaine and whoever like said on Rotten Tomatoes because I don't know them. That's why I always take.
I like the thumbs up viewer score.
So if the audience score, people who I talk with, like if I go, but like even for you and I, like you and I have sometimes similar, but also very different movie opinions on certain things. So if I'm looking at, so just for different things, like you like Fast and Furious, I don't like it. Yeah. So if there's a movie that's very similar to Fast and the Furious, and you're like, it was sick, I know I'm probably not going to enjoy it, and that's totally fine.
Yeah. For the record, I probably wouldn't watch anything like Fast and the Furious. That's like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
you know
just
other
that
than
one.
it. Yeah,
other than that one.
I think it's tied to me being younger.
Yeah,
when I first watched. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is I love the first one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love the first one a lot.
I understand the movies are super unrealistic. Like,
yeah,
I just
kicked
kicked through a wall.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, remember when The Rock just
broke
dives through the corner right here where there's 4 2x4s nailed together because framing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no one's doing that.
Yeah. So anyway, I just think it just wasn't for me. I don't know.
Dude, just that little clip I watched the other day of Batman when Heath Ledger's in the fucking interrogation room. Mm-hmm. That acting job is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and so
his
back
laugh,
to that, like I think it's
his laugh. How long did it take to master that laugh?
it was crazy. So he was actually originally Heath Ledger was approached to play Batman in Batman Begins, and he said no because he wouldn't.
I feel like I remember that.
He didn't want to do a superhero movie. He said, I don't ever want to do that because he was known for other stuff, more serious and drama, thriller kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then when they released that they were going to do a sequel, or once he saw Batman Begins, he really enjoyed what Christopher Nolan did because he made it a little bit more grounded, less mystical or less superhero-y. Yeah, it was more realism.
That is a word, by the way.
Yeah. He said, I know, like, once he learned that it was going to be the Joker, he's like, I already know how to play him. So he just told his agent, he's like, just get me into a room with Christopher Nolan, and that was that. Once he was in. So he got it, and he does an amazing job. So I would argue that The Dark Knight is probably one of the better movies that have come out in the last since 2000.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely up there. In terms of superhero movies, like I said, it just depends on what you want out of it. Like I think the only reason why I would rank a lot of MCU movies over it is just because I really enjoy the connectivity of all these movies and how it builds a universe.
Which is also insane.
But The Dark Knight doesn't. It's its own thing, which I can also really appreciate. But just because I enjoy that side of stuff more, of like building stuff and but yeah, that movie is, I mean, I try and get Tanya to watch it all the time because I was like, dude, you have to watch it.
Has she never seen The Dark Knight?
She's seen a lot of it, but not the end, or I don't think we ever got to the interrogation scene. Like just the opening scene of being the school bus and like robbing the bank is just a nuts thing.
Yeah.
Too.
He just blasts those people.
Yeah, and it's like everyone thinks that he tells everybody to like kill everyone and like do all this shit, and he's planned it out perfectly, and you just realize that he's a genius in his own.
He's a super crazy genius.
Yeah, and I don't know, like
the scene where he's driving the semi-truck and just sticking the head out the window. He's like, ah!
Yeah.
It's just lunacy. It's crazy. That scene where he's in the interrogation room, where he's like, Batman's just beating the shit out of him. Where are they?
Yeah.
And he's like, you have no power over me. Your
Yeah.
physical powers do nothing.
Yeah.
And then like tells him, I'll tell you where they're both at. And he tells him, and I guess the licking of the lips for that was like all added by Heath Ledger. It was not anything that they talked about.
Yeah, he did a really good job. I mean, he did an amazing job. It was really sad that role took so much of a toll on him. So
yeah, I mean, didn't he like lock himself in a fucking room, like solitary confinement?
I don't know
to go
all the stuff
crazy?
that he did, but
He clearly had a drug addiction.
yeah. I mean, it's so crazy how sometimes you watch somebody do a performance like that, and I don't want to say ruins because I feel like that's the wrong word, but I'm going to use it anyway. So for lack of a better term, like it ruins that role for any other person for me.
Yeah.
Like he'll
That's what I
always
felt
be
like
that.
the Joker,
Yeah.
the one you just saw, is going to be
Tony, like
it's nothing.
Tony
compared to-
Stark is going to always be Robert Downey Jr. There's just a lot of that stuff where, if they recast and redid stuff, it just
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
or like almost everybody in the Lord of the Rings franchise, like that's who they are to me. Like when I see them in other stuff, I'm like, oh, that's that character from Lord of the, whatever it is.
That's like I love The Departed. It's like one of my favorite movies. Matt Damon is a total cocksucker in that movie.
Yeah.
And I hated him. I see him in other movies, hate him.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like I watched the Bourne series a couple weeks ago that I was like,
you see Martian?
It's pretty nice.
Martian
I have seen Martian. That's when he's stuck on the
Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just figured he was stuck on a random planet. I forgot it was Mars.
He's on Mars, yeah.
He's like growing potatoes and shit. Yeah. I've seen
Botany, dude. It's
few
crazy.
I mean, obviously he's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, he has done a lot. He's slowed down a little bit though. I kind of like when some of these actors start to be more choosy on what they do. They don't just do everything. I like that.
Well, I'm really. I think I talked about it in the last podcast. I'm really excited for Martin Scorsese's new film, The Irishman.
Martin Scorsese just fucking slammed on MCU movies.
Did
So
he?
they weren't movies. They weren't cinema.
Oh shit.
Yeah, which is fine. He has that. He can have that opinion.
Yeah, you can have opinion whatever you
but
want.
the problem that I
mean, they
have
make
with-
billions of dollars, so they're
Oh.
obviously a movie.
yeah. So everyone's like, he's
Martin,
jealous. So
you
jealous. Like,
you
dude, Martin
fucking
Scorsese's
idiot.
not jealous. Yeah, like
He's
not
just
jealous of
critiquing
anything.
filmmaking.
He's saying that they're cookie cutter, like it's
Yeah.
just pushing him out and all that stuff, which he's not necessarily wrong, but it's still art in its own sense. Like I said, there's been no other movies that have ever built connectivity,
yeah, like you just
spider
said,
web
connected of that.
of stuff. And not only that, but no other movie has ever done it with a character that they don't own. They had to do it with the rights from Sony to get, like, they've done a lot of different things. So that part's a little bit frustrating because I think Scorsese, you would think that Scorsese would really admire that portion of it.
Yeah.
But Scorsese has done so many great films. It just doesn't bother. Like, cool, he has that opinion. That's fine. Like, that's totally fine with me. I wish that he didn't have that opinion, but he does, and that's what it is. He does a good job on all of his movies. Like, name one movie that you fucking don't like of Scorsese's. Like,
I mean, he has so many.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know which ones I don't like.
Yeah, he's just all, like, really. At least the stuff that's
I
come
mean,
out
he's
in
an
the last couple
elite
years.
director.
Yeah.
So
And writer.
Writer.
Does a really good job.
Yeah. I'm excited to see the new one because it's going to be new actors. I really enjoy the mob type stuff.
It's not super new actors.
Well,
You mean new actors for him?
It's gonna have Al Pacino in it
Al
for
Pacino,
sure, and Robert De Niro. Those are typical mobster
Pesci.
actors movies. Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
But like those guys are getting old. I think there's a younger group who's gonna play the
gonna
younger
come in.
guys that are gonna come in and play that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like
That comes out on Netflix, right? Doesn't it?
I don't
Isn't it a Netflix movie?
I don't think so.
No?
Martin
I thought-
Scorsese would never release a movie on Netflix, right?
I think it just depends on how much you get paid, but it's probably not. I'll look it up.
But
I thought someone told me that it was. I don't know.
I'm excited to see it. And
when does it come out?
Do you know who Jimmy Hoffa is? Do you know about that? Like, he was the head of the Teamsters Union,
Yeah.
and then he died, and no one knew where he was at.
Yeah.
I used to always ask my dad about that because he knows a lot of people who drive truck, which is Teamsters, semi-truck, cross-country and shit. I believe that's what Teamsters is. I could be mistaken.
Yeah, the Irishman official trailer, Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Netflix original.
It's going to be a Netflix movie?
Mhm.
What the fuck? When is it coming out?
Let's look.
Dude, I always want to get rid of fucking Netflix. And then they just keep releasing shit.
It just says 2019 limited. It does have a limited theatrical release on November 1st, followed by digital streaming on November 27th by Netflix. So, that's crazy.
Next year, right?
No, this year.
Wait, what?
2019.
November?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's close.
Yeah.
So they've been filming that for a long time.
It might be, yeah.
Well, I mean, they just talked about it like recently. I thought it was going to be like a year away.
They do a really good job. That's why I'm really excited about the break. I don't know if you watch Breaking Bad. I think we talked about it, but
No, I haven't.
nothing was released.
Everyone calls me Jesse Stinkman at Whitworth.
Oh, really?
Because Jesse Pinkman, I guess.
Yeah.
Try to insult me. Say I stink. I don't stink.
Yeah. You don't
They
look
say you
anything
kinda-
like Jesse.
They say I act like him? I don't know.
Maybe a little bit because he's got that like, I don't know, like
I'd never seen
joke around, kind of sarcastic way about him.
Yeah.
You know what's cool is that they actually had like some, because it's an AMC show, they did a little, not canon really, but like a little bit of an AMC crossover with The Walking Dead. Like the whole thing about Breaking Bad is blue meth, right? And in the first season of The Walking Dead, like Daryl has drugs and in a bag is blue meth. They also like played the Breaking Bad like theme song one time, like in like the background of a Walking Dead episode. They talked about how Daryl had like this drug dealer that he like tells this story about him, and he goes, "I'm gonna fucking kill you, bitch," and that's exactly how Jesse talks in the movie, like or in the show. So it's like that. There's like this cool.
What do you call those?
Glenn drives
Easter
the same
eggs.
car. Yeah, Easter eggs. Yeah, just certain things like you could be like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Glenn in the movie or in the TV show drives the same car as Walter White's son. It's a red Charger.
There's quite a few Easter eggs in Once Upon a Time.
In Hollywood, yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood from, what's his name? The director. Forgot his name.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino's previous movies. Like in Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained, there's a lot of little Easter eggs.
I don't know
from
why.
there.
Like, I like Django, but I didn't like it as much as other people.
I
why.
definitely don't think Django's one of his better movies.
Yeah, people loved it. You know how many people would come up and be like, can I get 2
think-
tickets for Django? And you're like, dude, it's in the trailer. He literally says the D is silent.
I think there's a lot of good scenes in it. I think it's very Tarantino-ish where he overdoes a lot of shit. Obviously, you like to watch all the great actors in his movies, but
Yeah, I mean,
I think
insane.
Inglourious Bastards was far and away better than Django Unchained.
He did Pulp Fiction too.
Pulp Fiction's really good.
What else?
Jackie Brown.
Dude, at the same time that Django came out was Les Mis. That like full, like the whole thing was singing.
The hell is that the Les Miserables?
Yeah. So that's what
Didn't that win something? Like
I don't know. But people would come up with that. Can I see Les Miserables?
Ugh.
And you're like, dude.
It's like, dude, are you fucking cultured at all?
I'm gonna see Django, and
Miserables.
my wife is gonna see. My wife's gonna see Les Miserables, and you're like, dude.
Les Miserables.
Yeah, that's what they say. And
Jesus.
You're like, fuck.
It's like, dude, you should Google search that with voice text.
Dude, it was super funny, man. But yeah, yeah.
Have
I
you
love
seen?
movies, so.
Do you have Netflix?
Yeah.
Have you seen The Spy?
I haven't seen The Spy.
I just started watching that. It's actually with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
So Borat.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a spy between, I believe he's what the hell is he? He's Israel. He's from Israel. He's Israeli, and he's becomes a spy to go into Syria. But it's played by Sacha Baron Cohen. I've only made it to the second episode, but it's already really interesting.
A TV show.
Yeah, it's a show on
Cool.
Netflix. And it's like 44 minutes episode or something like that.
That's super cool.
And it's what we were talking about the other couple weeks ago, where you kind of just get pulled off the road, and they're like, "Are you a patriot? Do you love your country?" He's like, "Yes." Like, would you lie to your family and your wife if you had to protect your country? Yes.
Yeah.
And they're like, we know you have these skills, you know, blah blah blah. I was like, dude, that shit is tight. But he plays a completely different role. I didn't even recognize it was Borat until I looked up the characters.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen is actually like a really good actor.
Yeah, he's really smart
think
too.
about how hard it would be to play Borat and try and be serious all the time. Like, you can't break character because it's filmed like a documentary.
You know how many people that they got like tricked with that stuff with Borat, with
Bruno was so bad, dude.
Bruno's like really bad.
Like, hard watch.
Yeah.
He's at one point, I think in Bruno, he's like pedaling like a bike with a like dildo, like going like he's doing some weird shit.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's pretty funny.
Borat made me laugh. But Bruno was like, ugh.
I forget the other show he did. Like, I knew him from Ollie G, like way back in the day.
Yeah, Ollie
funny.
G was funny.
Booyakasha.
Yeah.
But he did another one where I forget what it is. He plays someone and he interviews people that are in, you know, like congressmen, congresswomen, stuff like that. He like exposed like a sex traffic ring in Las Vegas while he was interviewing for like a TV show. He's like interviewing the guy and he's like, "Oh, I like kids," like, or I like this, and the guy's like, "Oh, I can supply that." And they're like, "What the fuck?" And so he's like kept going as an investigative journalist. Yeah. And like they exposed this sex ring that was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, he's pretty crazy. I think in Bruno, he went into like a Middle Eastern like terrorist type thing. I think it was in Bruno because it wasn't Borat. And the dude was like, "You need to fucking," like the main guy who was there, whoever was running the operation at the time. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to call it terrorist, but an activist group. Like was like, "You need to fucking leave right now, or we're gonna fucking kill you."
Oh my god!
And they were like, "All right," and they left. Yeah, I think it was Bruno that it happened in.
Well, The Spy, first couple episodes, really good.
Yeah, that's sick. I'll have to check it out. There hasn't been a lot of stuff that I've been interested in terms of TV or even movies, but now, like before, I wasn't really interested in MCU stuff after Endgame, just because it seemed like it tied it up for me. Like they did a really good job, and I'm cool with it. And then there was the news that Spider-Man was no longer in the MCU. That shit pissed me off, and they got him back now, so he's gonna be back for one movie to end the trilogy, and then one more like team up movie, and with the potential that they could continue going. And it was kind of cool to see because they ended it in both Bob Iger, who's the CEO of Disney stuff, and
Did he create? No, he didn't create Spider-Man.
No.
Okay, what's the name?
Stan Lee and like Steve Ditko, I think. But then the CEO of Sony, both of them were like, "It's not going to happen. Like, it's done." And Tom Holland went to both the CEOs and was like, "Dude, like, don't do this. Like, this is the reason why," and like pitch certain shit. And they both said, "All right." They were like,
so
okay.
He did it for the people, dude.
And and for him too.
Yeah.
But like,
you think he's the best Spider-Man?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, I think he's better than Tobey.
That's the only. I haven't watched a whole bunch of them.
The Andrew Garfield movies are terrible. Like, I'm sorry.
Like when they get made a whole bunch like that, like it's bound to happen when you make that many of the same movie. It's gonna be garbage at some point.
Yeah, no, yes, 100. Because then they just try and be different.
Yeah,
they try and like do their own thing. And the thing that I really enjoy about Tom Holland's is that we understand that bad things have happened to him before he became Spider-Man, but we didn't see the Uncle Ben. We didn't, and a lot of people actually don't like that he's like mini Iron Man. I think that fits.
I thought it was tight.
Yeah, I think that it's sick.
We watched not Endgame.
Yeah,
what was the other? Infinity War. You know, and I don't even follow MCU like that.
Yeah.
I watched
gets,
a
like,
20-minute recap video to get ready for it. But yeah, that shit was
like
tight.
the Iron Spider
I was
and
like,
stuff.
dude, that is sick.
Yeah, they didn't like the fact that he wasn't like this certain like quippy person, but it was like that's kind of the point was that he's 15, 16 years old, and in order like you being 16 in that universe, you're gonna idolize these fucking people.
Fuck yeah.
And then because then you become one of them. And like going to space and like fighting the world's biggest threat ever and winning, like you're gonna be and then you can become cocky after that and be that kind of like quippy different thing. I've read a bunch of the Amazing Spider-Man comics, and he didn't.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, he like when he's Peter, he's like kind of like a gentleman, nice, whatever. When he puts on the mask, then he's like talks shit and does stuff. So it's a cool thing. I don't know, like, and so now that he's back, I'm a little bit more interested in what's going to happen, especially with how Far From Home ended. Like Far From Home ended where it like colossally fucked the MCU and the Spider-Man universe, and you were like,
are these
you can't break
quick
it.
question? Are all these movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, Strange, you know, Thor, all those? Are those previously written in comics? And they're like expanding on the comic to write the movie, or is the movie a completely? I mean, obviously the core of the character is the same, and they're writing a movie.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, if you went back and read Spider-Man comics,
Yeah.
would you see that he turns an Iron Spider-Man?
Oh, yes, during the Civil War comic. The Civil War comic.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, the Civil War comic, he gets the irons because the whole point was to become like say who you were. Because people knew that Tony was Iron Man, and to sign like this decree that was, you know, very similar in the Civil War movie, where it's like, if you sign this, the Sokovia Accords is what they call it in the movie, you are basically a government agent, and you do what we say. And Captain America was like, all the government agencies that I've ever been a part of are fucking shit and
corrupt,
and they're corrupt. So I would rather drive the car.
Hint at reality,
you know. All this stuff. So Tony convinces Peter, to say who he is, and he gives him the Iron Spider suit, which is a different look, and like obviously than what it looks like now.
That's cool though.
And it's not the same technology, but yes, they took what's on the page and then they just adapted it to how it would work better on screen. Kevin Feige, who's the kind of the guy who runs everything at MCU for MCU movies, he's the executive producer. He runs it. He says like there's a lot of shit that happens in comics that needs to stay on the page because it doesn't make sense. Like that's a comic book thing, and that's fine. But when you bring it over, we got to make sure that it stays somewhat not necessarily believable, but like believable.
Like Infinity War, like
there's a comic about
Avengers. Is there a comic about the Avengers?
Yes,
that's like all of them.
Yes,
like it is in the movies.
Yeah,
and they're all interconnected in the comics too. Wow.
If you watch the Spider-Man one, there's a lot of shit like that. The Spider-Man video game has it too. But that's not there are so many different iterations. Like there's Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, that all change. So you just have to find the ones that are of that same like lineage.
Yeah.
So you could watch or you could read an Iron Man comic and then the Amazing Spider-Man comic, and those two might not have the same tie-in, but they reboot stuff and they do stuff all the time. But it's very convoluted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Did you like Deadpool and shit like that?
I like Deadpool.
Yeah. What is Deadpool part of? DC?
No, he's a part of Marvel, but he was owned by Fox, and now he's part of the MCU.
So is he going to be...
He's the only actor and character that they are not recasting. So when he ends up in the MCU, he will be Ryan Reynolds.
Is he going to be Ryan Reynolds again? Are they going to give him the same a bit, like everything, where he talks the way he does and stuff?
Yeah, so Bob Iger again said that if they make a solo film, Deadpool movie, it will be rated R, and it will be brought out underneath the Fox banner. But if he's a team-up movie, obviously they'll have to dumb him down. But you know how easy and how hilarious it would be if every time he like cusses, it bleeps it out. He's like, "What the fuck?" And it's just like, "What the bleep?" And he's like, "What the was that?" You know, like he would be self-aware because that's how he is.
Normally,
he breaks the fourth wall.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like where it like turns and talks to the camera in the movie.
Yeah.
that was like one of the first movies where I was like, all right,
Yeah.
it kind of works. And Ryan Reynolds is hilarious.
Yeah, he's super funny.
Van Wilder, that's a movie not a lot of people have seen.
Yeah, you should look at some of the like Instagram or like tweets that he makes about his wife.
Oh, I've
like,
seen him.
Lively, it's
yeah.
so funny. He'll like take pictures and be like, I love you, and it's like she's just completely cut out and it's just him.
Dude,
It's
have
really
you
good.
seen Van Wilder?
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely,
good.
yeah.
Because a lot of people have not.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people haven't, and that's like I feel like that was like Ryan Reynolds' like first fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, that's one of his first for sure. For sure. What are you doing today? What do you got going on? Because Seahawks don't play, so
Seahawks won on Thursday.
which was like nail biter.
That was a good game. Seattle, I was pretty upset actually. Even though we won, I was still upset after.
Just because like
Well,
playing bad or whatever.
Two things. End of the first half, we were up 14-6. Well, not the end of the first half. Towards the end, and we got down to their, I don't know what yard line, 35, 30, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
4th and 1, we come out, hard count, take a timeout, and then attempt to kick a field goal. Miss it.
The Seahawks do?
The Seahawks missed it on 4th and 1 with like a minute 45 left in the half. Missed it. Instead of just going for it on 4th and 1. We should have went for it on 4th and 1. So
Yeah.
we make it. It's 17-6. We go for it, potentially score 21-6.
Yeah.
Instead, we miss it. Then we basically play like a prevent defense where we're just
which, like,
giving.
let him throw 5 yards.
Dude, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like we were giving them 5-yard routes, but then we were also giving them like a 5-yard turn and fucking run,
Yeah.
and we gave up a touchdown at the end of the first half. So it's
Oh, wow.
14-13 rather than 17-6, rather than
21.
14-6
Yeah.
or 21-6. They showed a stat in that game too. Seattle is 53-0 since 2012 when Russell Wilson got there. 53-0 when going into halftime up by 4 or more. That's an
Wow.
insane stat.
Yeah, that is. I like kind of like random stats like that.
Yeah, they were talking on it. Troy Aikman, the guy who I
Yeah.
just was talking trash about, they were talking like we go over these stats in like production meetings, and rarely do we see one that's like, oh shit, that's pretty impressive. And
Yeah.
that is one of those stats where it's like, wow.
Yeah.
But-
and to kind of talk about something that's like, wow, weird. I think the Joker movie, just to touch on it just real quick,
Yeah.
it's one of the only movies that I've never been able, that I can't really complain about, but I just don't like it.
Yeah,
It's like very rare.
I can't think of it. I mean,
Like, can you
Well,
think of a
never mind.
movie where it's like, yeah, I mean, it was good, but like it was great, but I didn't like it. I can't think of anything like that.
probably not off the top of my head right now. Maybe, I don't know.
Anyway,
And then we came out in the second half. It was noticeable that Seattle's offense is really good. Seattle's rushing the ball well, like we always do. A lot of play action. It was noticeable that when the Rams started going up tempo,
yeah.
Seattle was they were just eating Seattle up. And I
The
think
defense.
yeah, I think part of it is because you can't make adjustments as fast when people are on the ball like that. The other part is Seattle has such big athletic linebackers that they're one of the few teams that just leave them in rather than going like to a nickel and bringing in another DB.
Yeah.
They just leave their base defense in and just run every coverage out of that,
Yeah.
which was hurting us because they were just running out routes, and
Yeah.
they did at the end of the game. Like at the end of the game, Russell Wilson kind of makes a pitch.
There was an insane catch, right? In the end zone.
One of the best throws I've ever seen.
And catch.
And
He was
catch.
toes just
It looked like he was throwing it away at first. He was rolling left, and so he's running this way. And
Yeah,
then
across his
throwing
body.
across his body, and put it corner of the end zone. Amazing catch.
Yeah.
That was first quarter or whatever.
Yeah.
But they did it again at the end of the game. Like there was, I don't know, a minute left, and they needed 40 yards because they were down 3.
Yeah, so they need to
Or no.
they were down 2.
They were down 2.
No, 1.
What was the score? They're down 1.
Yeah, they're down 1 because the Seahawks ended up winning by 1 point.
And they were just same thing. They were giving up 5-yard out routes, and then he would turn and run for another 5. So it's 10, 10.
Yeah. Only
Greg
got to do that
Zuerlein-
4 times.
Yeah, the kicker on their team has made like a 61-yard field goal, so
Yeah.
they don't have to get far. We're lucky he missed it.
Yeah.
I mean, besides that, Seattle played really well. Russell Wilson's having the best year of his career. Like
Yeah, he's doing really good.
12 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
but
yards. Like I think I remember
He has 1,400 yards right now,
Yeah.
just over, something like that. Yeah, I mean, he's up there with the top quarterbacks.
Yeah. I think he always has been. Like people have always spoken really highly of Russell Wilson.
Well, it's weird because, like, Seattle's offensive line sucks ass. They're a lot better this year than they have been, and last year we were a lot better. Pass protection's not the best. Our run run fits and everything is good.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson doesn't take a ton of shots. He started every game of his career, even though he runs a lot and our offensive line has been shit. He's been sacked more than other quarterbacks. Did you watch
that video I sent, that TikTok from Tom Brady?
Yeah. I didn't really get the point of it.
It was because he he was running, acting like he was gonna lay some people out, and he just made sure he didn't touch anyone.
I thought it was funny that no one touched him.
Yeah,
because the quarterback's running out there. It's like, oh shit, let's fuck this guy up.
Yeah,
yeah.
He was just
it's pretty funny though. That was like 2 or 3 years ago. I remember that play happening.
Yeah, he made it. He made that.
He made that.
Yeah, it's from his account. Yeah, I'm pretty sure anyway.
I love football. Seahawks. I'm happy they won. I'm sick of the Rams. They moved to LA and now they're just good, dude. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Ram fans out the woodwork. But, yeah, I mean, you asked what I'm doing today. I'll probably watch some football. Stephanie has a, what was that, IKEA, shelf that she wants me to put together because her birthday's in a few days.
Yeah.
IKEA sucks, dude.
Yeah, but, I guess it's cheap and easy.
Yeah, well, it's not easy to put together.
This is an IKEA desk.
How long did it take you to put that together?
Not that long.
No?
No.
It took me a solid hour and a half to put her dresser together. And I used to build cabinets.
It probably took an hour. Yeah, it probably took an hour to set it up.
I think they're designed, they're interlocking.
Yeah.
Where they have, a post and then it interlocks around it. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. The desk is nice. It's not not a bad desk.
Seems solid.
Yeah. A little small, short, actually. I wish it was bigger.
I was going to go hunting today, but I was trying to debate yesterday if I go in the morning or go after this. Both weeks when I've seen does, it's been around 9 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Because it's so cold that they want to come sit out in the sun or out on the hillside. I saw that track. I had a thought yesterday. Have you ever shit in the woods?
No. Yeah.
I don't know why I had that thought. Well, I pooped in the, top of a mountain. Just went up there and just dropped it.
Right off the side of the mountain.
Dropped it, dude. But I was like, I wonder how many people actually shit in the woods.
Not a lot.
They don't go.
I think probably it was a lot a few years ago, probably when our kids were or our parents were young, but now most campgrounds and shit like that, they have bathrooms or they have at least an outhouse where it's just whole.
See, I'm on a logging road.
Yeah. Out wherever.
Yeah.
Just got to do it.
Well, it's a different thing. It's different.
Yeah. I bet. And they've done other things too. They built little stools now that have a hole in the center of the stool that you can put a bag around and then shit in that shit. Whatever.
My mom was telling me when I was 5 years old, we went camping, and they told me.
That's a really weird thought, bro. Why are you gonna
I'm sorry I had to drop it on you. I literally pinned it in my brain to be I gotta ask Mitchell if he's shit in the woods. That's the only thought. There was nothing deeper than that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But my mom was they had taught me that you can pee outside, Jesse.
Yeah.
You're 5 years old. You can just stand up, go pee over by the tree. And then apparently I just ran down the path and just took a dump in the middle of the path when I was 5. And they're like, dude, what are you doing? You can't just shit anywhere you want.
Dude, that's so funny. You're I gotta shit. You just ran down the path that you were eventually gonna get back, parents were gonna get to, and you just shit there and bro. Dude, go out the path a little bit.
Think of a little 5-year-old processing well, I can pee outside, so maybe I can poop.
I gotta shit here.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do much else. I got a little weed eating to do.
Yeah. We're going to the pumpkin patch. I can't remember which one we're going. I can't remember. I'll look at it real quick.
Corn maze?
No, we're not going to Savi's. It's down Cornelius Pass. It's called Stumpers or I don't know what the fuck.
Bro, I can't stand corn mazes, dude. I just turn and walk right through the corn.
You just fuck this maze.
I just pop out somewhere.
Dude. Mm-hmm. It's called Plumpers.
Plumper? I feel like I've heard of that.
It's I think it's supposed to be more fun for the kids, and so, like I said earlier, I don't buy a pumpkin typically and carve one.
Do it.
We'll see what Tanya wants to do.
Do it, bro. I got tools for you.
Tools?
Yeah, you can make it legit. What are you using? In the freaking Ice Age, using a knife, actually carving it?
I don't know. What do you use?
Whatever tools we need, like a little Dremel tool.
Oh shit!
5 minutes.
I guess that's fair. But yeah, I've never been super into it. So we'll see what Tanya wants to do.
Yeah.
Mostly because I don't want to spend $25.
I don't carve pumpkins either.
Yeah. But I'll go and hang out and be with the family and stuff.
Have a pumpkin beer. I never had that, but
yeah. I don't think I ever have either.
Sounds gross, actually.
Yeah. Do you like pumpkin pie? Do you like?
I like pumpkin pie.
What about pumpkin seeds? You should
I've had them. Yeah, they're pretty good. Like,
my mom.
don't they like roast them?
Roasted pumpkin seeds.
Yeah,
Are so
I
fucking
think I've
good.
had your mom's before.
Yeah. So
I definitely have had to.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't buy them and shit. But yeah, I don't get like pumpkin lattes.
Yeah. No. Not full white girl.
How the fuck do you get a pumpkin in a latte?
How's
That's
it fit
my
in there?
question. Like, what do you just like?
How's that pumpkin fit in there?
Well, what do they do? Like, is it real pumpkin? It's just,
No,
it's gotta be
a
just flavor.
Flavor, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that shit.
Yeah.
I want to see you take real pumpkin, put it in a blender, blend it up, and mix it with my coffee.
Oh, it would be so bad.
Yuck.
Have you ever smelled a
Like
pumpkin?
a pumpkin latte smoothie.
Fucking gross, dude. I've been thinking about doing a juice cleanse. Have you ever done one?
I've never done a juice cleanse. Thought about it.
Yeah. There's one here, like the Portland Juice Company or whatever the fuck.
How much is it?
It's $150
For how many?
3 days.
3 days for
So
$150.
So it's 15 juices.
Holy shit.
It's like 4 juice and then
I'd rather do
one.
like a week, I feel like.
Yeah, but can you imagine not eating any solid food for 7 days?
I couldn't be working, that's for sure.
Yeah. So like I was like, I bet I could do one like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and be all right because there's like 4 juices and then there's one cashew milk, so a little bit more protein, a little bit more calories. But
They have do they show specific benefits? I mean, obviously there's a
there's
lot of
stuff
benefits
on
to
there.
juicing.
Yeah, I mean there's just detoxing, get the
Flushes
shit
you
of you.
out.
Yeah, I've been doing apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon with water.
Disgusting.
It's so gross, but
It's worse than any alcohol I've ever had.
yeah,
And I don't even like it.
yeah, it's gross, but it kind of like I don't know, like it kind of
It's really good for you.
gets me energized a little bit. I don't know why. Like, and it starts your metabolism without eating, and it can be a hunger.
So does
suppressant as
chugging
well.
water when you wake up.
Yeah, I drink water
I
with
mean,
it. I dilute the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot better to have apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, so I do like 1 tablespoon and like 8 ounces of water. So then I chug that, and then I just drink water.
You just mix it with the water?
Yeah.
Why don't you just take it right away and then...
Because it actually, it's so acidic that it can wear down and create ulcers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Bam, you just learned some people up on that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So you want to dilute it. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll do one, because you're not supposed to do more than 2 tablespoons a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do 1 tablespoon in the morning.
I've seen people chug it like,
yeah,
oh, I'm
gross.
hard.
Yeah, no. You're
Yuck,
gonna
dude.
fuck your stomach up, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bad. But a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll put 1 tablespoon in like 8 ounces of water and mix it with honey, or like put it in tea.
I love honey.
And they do that.
Honey and tea, so good.
Yeah, so that's usually what they'll do. They'll do like a nice like black tea, and then they do honey and that shit, and we're good to go.
You just gotta take a shot on it.
No.
Well, I mean, I guess not anymore.
Yeah.
That you...
So I just drink. So I'll do that. Like I'll have my water bottle like this guy next to that, and I'll drink. Like I'll take like a big gulp, and I'll drink some water. Take another big. It usually takes like 3 big gulps to get it out, and then I feel good. And I played basketball the other morning, and like I don't know, like I felt pretty good. I've started to work out because I wanted to lose weight, dude. I weighed 226 pounds, and I think I carry it decently. Like I don't think a lot of people were like
yeah.
You're getting, but I just like would take off my shirt and be like, bro, what is wrong? Like at least get to 200.
That's a lot of weight, man.
Yeah.
When I did the nutrition with the macros last year, I was 237.
Yeah.
And I feel like I carry the weight pretty well too
Yeah.
because I'm bigger now and I have a lot
Shoulders are
more muscle
wider.
mass.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like still, I looked fat. And I lost 17 pounds. I got down to 220.
In 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was like
look good though.
it was a big difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
I looked way better. And now I haven't been on my macros by any means, but I'm active at work and stuff like that.
That's the hardest part about my job is it's not an active job. It's sitting down at a desk.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's like
I'm
just
on my
there.
feet all day.
yeah.
And yeah.
I think that was a big reason because when I first did P90X and I was really doing MMA and things like that, I worked a job that was the commercial laundry, but it was picking up like decently heavy
Even if
thing,
it's not heavy,
putting them in the washer, like pushing them in the washer, getting them out of the washer, putting them into the dryer, taking them out of the dryer, like rolling them, or like 'cause sometimes there'd be mats or folding. Like I'm moving and I'm doing shit all day. So then when I came home and then I'd work out, like I was already I don't know, like that's why
Yeah,
I really like
you've been burning calories all day.
all day. And then P90 it's basically HIIT training. So it's high intensity interval training. And so that raises your heart rate. So you burn more fat in that, where when I go to the gym, even though I'm doing a lot of really good workouts, like even my plan's really good, but sometimes it's like, okay, I need to go squat. All the squat racks are taken.
Yeah.
So then it like
fucking sucks.
it slows down my shit. And,
well, the one good thing about lifting heavy weights is, you continue to burn calories for longer when you're sitting on a couch.
Yeah.
Like a HIIT workout, stuff like that burns calories right now.
yeah.
And there is studies that show that it does increase burning calories, your resting metabolic rate.
Yeah.
But like pure cardio, like that's just right now.
Yes.
For that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's costs and benefits. But just being active all day,
Yeah.
like I probably take like 10 to 12,000 steps minimum in just my work day.
Yeah.
And then I have the rest of the day.
Yeah, probably like 2,000 or 3,000 after that.
Yeah, not a bunch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I always just what I found too is like when I know that I'm like losing weight, or when I know that things are doing well, is like after I get done working out and I shower and I get out and I like get dressed or whatever, I'm still kind of hot and like
sweaty.
I start to sweat again. That's how I know shit's going on. So I've been trying to do, just trying to eat healthier, or if I know that, like for instance, like tonight, because we're going to the pumpkin patch and stuff, usually we have family dinner and we have like a pretty good meal. But tonight we're just doing like Costco pizza. So like I know like, okay,
2 slices.
yeah, like, or like
It's a big difference from 3.
yeah, like I'm gonna eat like 1-2 things, maybe just eat most of the salad or whatever, but throughout the day, like I'm gonna eat like a really light lunch. And so that, just because like the definition of losing weight is burning more calories than you take in.
Yeah.
So it's trying to figure that stuff out. The weekdays are really easy because I wake up, I do my shit. I don't eat till noon, and then I have started to not eat until 5 to 6, and then I don't eat after that.
Yeah.
And I just drink. And I've been doing sober October, so I haven't smoked at all. Haven't had the munchies.
Good.
Well,
It's so weird because the day and age that we live in, like a lot of people aren't doing much during the day. They're in an office, or, even me. Like, I do a lot, but it's still not like I'm in the same spot. Maybe fences and shit. There's different jobs propose different things, but what I'm saying is, like, humans before are meant to trek.
Yeah.
Like, to move and walk. And even me, I'm like, it blows my, I'm like, dude, why are you so lazy right now today? Like, get out and fucking do the shit that you have to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat mass. My thing is portion control.
Yeah.
I can just smash a plate of food.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And then just be like, oh,
I did that.
Can I have some more?
Yeah. I did that yesterday where we got monkey subs. And, depending on what you're getting, especially like knowing that monkey sub stuff is pretty fresh.
It's not a terrible option.
The terrible thing, the only bad part
Bread.
that you're getting is the bread. But if you're active, you use all the shit that you take in from the bread to restore your muscles and do all that stuff, because a lot of bread, depending on what it is, can be complex carbs. That helps with that. So, but I remember like I ate, because I got a full. I don't know if it's like a 12-inch or whatever.
12-inch.
But whatever it is at Monkey says, like I ate one, like a half, and I was like, I remember thinking like, oh, I could probably be done and eat the other half later. But I was like,
you smashed it.
I just eat the
That's
whole,
the exact
thing.
thought process every time I eat a sub. I'll save this.
Yeah.
And I just smash the whole thing.
Yeah. But I'm really excited for basketball to start. Like, we're going to be doing that OHSU league with Devin on Tuesday.
Roll together on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Figure out where to park.
Because our games, like, we got the late game, and then it slowly gets earlier and earlier as the we
I
get
didn't even look at the schedule.
Yeah, so it's like 8:30, and then the next one's like 7:50. The next one's like 7. The next one's 6:30 or whatever. Like, it slowly just gets earlier and earlier, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna we'll have the rec league. I'm probably gonna do Tuesday nights at OHSU and then Friday mornings at Devin's church. Dude, one guy that was there was 72,
how was that?
bro.
Was he moving up and down pretty good?
For 72, dude, I swear he probably took 25, 30 shots, 80%. Easy.
Dude,
barely
why is it
missed.
always buttered up old guys,
dude. And a lot of the guys they're older, but we had 7 people on. Devin said it's usually 10, like it's usually 5-on-5, but we had 7 people and then 8 people to like someone came, but we played full court, 4-on-3, and we played to 11. If you won, they're like, run it back. They didn't even drink water. It's like they fucking hate water.
What the hell?
They're just like, run it. We're playing again. And so we played like for an hour, like straight. They actually, like, I went and like grabbed water and like, we're going again. Come on. And I was like, dude, like, I don't know how you guys do this.
Can I drink water, please?
Hey, can I just get hydrated a little?
Was it competitive?
It was competitive enough. Like, Devin and I were on the same team and we didn't win every game. And we were on the team that usually had like 4, but sometimes it's you have that thing in the back of your head. It's like we could fucking run these dudes, you know.
But
like,
that's not the game.
Like where you could like cherry pick their shot and just toss it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was broke. But it's nice to like play a little bit before we play in a game that has like refs and shit.
Yeah, no,
get some
might
shots
not be
up.
too good.
We can see if Devin wants to
We'll
get some shots up tomorrow or something.
I mean, I just have to find a rhythm. I know myself. Like I can either be like completely broke or I can find a rhythm and I'll make some shots.
Yeah, and the best part about basketball for me isn't taking away obviously like just the enjoyment I get out of like competing and playing the game that I enjoy the most is that it's really good cardio and like fat burning, and I don't notice it. It's not like I'm on like the treadmill or running around the track. Like I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And so like just running, there's that, but then you're moving your arms, you're jumping, you're doing all this extra shit.
Yeah. That
has really helped. And but yeah, man, it was crazy because I just remember looking at my like knowing what I've looked like before.
Yeah.
Even like, you know, obviously it's such a bad comparison because when we were in high school, we're playing a sport every season. We have something.
Bro, we were running every day.
Yeah, like everything, right? And then after that, like I'm still doing some of that shit and doing like P90X and doing mixed martial arts. So like to compare what I'm doing at 27 to what I was like in 18 is just a unfair comparison.
Until you get back to the point.
Yeah, but then,
you're at, I mean, age-wise, if you're looking at a professional athlete, 25 to 28 is peak.
Yeah.
So, like, when people say, like, well, I'm getting old, I'm like, well, actually, you just don't do shit to make yourself better.
And so now I was like, dude, I like jumped on the scale, and I was like, I weigh 226.6, heaviest I've been. And I think if I looked
better
in my what I look like in my eyes, I wouldn't have cared as much because I don't really care about the number. I care about, but also just knowing like where I'm gaining fat and shit like that. Like my organs.
We're white, bro. We're white. We get a belly.
Yeah, you get the belly. Yeah, and so that's like the only place I gain weight. I don't really gain weight in my face. I don't really gain weight in my legs all that much, or really anywhere. But it's usually like a beer belly,
it's
and
my
I don't
belly
drink beer.
and my love handles.
Yeah. And I was just like, man, I got to do something because I haven't been super active. And it's like, I'll come home and I'll just smash a bag of Doritos if I want, or just eat whatever the fuck I want, you know? Because it's like,
smash a bag of Doritos.
Who cares? And I just eat whatever. Yeah. Or I was eating every time I would go over
bread, bro.
Me too. I
don't even eat chips like that.
But every time I would go to the studio, I would go to the gas station and I'd buy like a small bag of high chews, and I just eat the fucking high chews because I like them so much. But that's a sugar.
See, I don't do that.
Yeah, I
don't know, dude.
Yeah, plus having a girlfriend's
hard.
Rough when it comes to eating because they just want to eat out all the time. Yeah. They want to eat whatever. It's like you. I told Kirsten asked me what we should get because she was over when we were playing board games and stuff, and I was like, can we let's get monkey subs? Like that's not that bad. That's a healthier option if we're gonna go out and eat. And she's like, I don't want to do that. Like all the bread. And I was like, okay, like that's fine. What are you looking at? And then she like said some stupid shit. Like she was like Taco Bell. And she said, I think that's what she said.
She said all the bread and then was like, let's get Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. And she was like, said something else. I was like, what the fuck?
Like, dude, that is pure garbage for your stomach.
Yeah. Like she said something that, and then I started cause I was getting hungry because I hadn't eaten all day. Like I had
Were you upset?
I was sitting down on the couch eating, red pepper, yellow pepper, orange pepper, like raw with, like that's just what I was eating, and what else, like carrots and shit, and that's all I'd had all day, and like black coffee, and then they were saying some stupid. After I suggested one thing, and like we can't eat that because all the carbs, and then they just suggested like pizza and like stuff like that. I was like, I was getting pissed, like I was getting hangry. Like I was like, dude, you guys are making me so fucking mad right now. And they were like, dude, you need to calm down. I was like,
Angry.
just go get food. Just go give me food.
I'm going to just beat the shit out of all of you.
I was like, I was getting so mad. I was like, you said no carbs, and then you said Taco Bell.
Hangry is the worst.
I don't know if that was what she said, but yeah.
I'm the worst.
That's why I'm scared to juice a little bit.
I've started to tell, it's not people, it's always family.
Yeah.
You never really get angry at other people. You reserve anger for family. I firmly believe that. I'll come home and I'll be like, I'm very hungry. I need to like settle into being back home for the day because I just don't want to get into an argument because I know I'm just snappy. Mm-hmm. It's like someone's like, how you doing? I'm like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. That's why I'm scared of juice because when I did MMA and I had to cut the weight to get to 155, can you imagine?
Were you
that,
a
dude?
dickhead?
Oh, dude, I had to have been. I had to have been so mean, just rude all the time and not on purpose.
Yeah.
Like you just don't have the patience for shit because you don't have fuel in your body and you're upset.
155 is so light.
Bro.
What the fuck?
I cut 20 pounds back then.
You're 70 pounds heavier than that. Think about that.
Dude, this is what I always think about. I was like, oh, I would like to be like 185. Like if I
We're not getting back to 185.
Yeah, I
Mitch.
know. I know that.
That's
but like,
skinny as fuck.
yeah, but I was like, I would love to be like 185. And I'm like, but to get to 185, I have to lose 40 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I haven't been 185 since I was a sophomore in college. I was very light.
Yeah.
Very light.
Well, I was looking at because a couple weeks ago I was looking at photos to do for like JB Monday title photos, right? And I was looking at stuff to try and find for you, and there was a couple pictures back, from like 2013 ish, and you are skinny as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like you're fat
At
now,
Whitworth?
but like you're just like super tiny, and I was like, dude, like your face, you don't really have facial hair either, so. I was like, damn.
Very skinny.
And it was kind of a similar I had a similar reaction to like seeing James the other day. I was like, James, you look skinny, bro.
Yeah, I was, when I first went to Fox, I was like, or not Fox, Whitworth, I was 215.
Yeah.
Fat. Because I wasn't working out. I missed football that season. And then I showed up and I went from 215 to 185 in 3 weeks of football.
Yeah, that's crazy. It just
pure running and just.
Yeah, that just goes to show, though, that like, you were obviously just not doing stuff.
Yeah.
So then like when you started doing stuff, your body was like, okay, I'll get back down.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just I think a lot of people, especially now, getting to our age where our metabolism does start to slow down, especially if you're not active. I was like, dude, why didn't my friends just tell me I was getting fucking fat?
Bro, I mean, I've seen your belly and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, because
you're
not fat.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
yeah.
Like, it's like I would look at myself. I'm like, oh, Jesse, you look fat. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not fat.
Yeah.
But in your mind, you're like, yuck.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like, Tanya doesn't give a shit. She's like, I like it. Like, it doesn't bother me. But I look at it, I'm like, dude, I look fucking gross.
Well, my thing is this. Like, I don't want to be, like, 35 and be just a shit.
Yeah.
At all. Like, I'm trying to be a buff dad.
Yeah, or at least like a, like
I'm trying to be active.
I want to be. I
my
want to be
kid's
active
not
enough to
beating
be
me.
like a coach. Yeah,
My kid's not beating
exactly.
me. Ever.
Yeah, ever.
You hear
He's
that?
gonna earn it.
You hear that down there? No. Yeah, it's crazy how much you lose weight. I thought about going back because when I played senior year of college, I was 205 in football, and I think I got sick middle of the season and went to like 195, 200 right in there. But I'm not gonna be that weight again. I could probably get to 210 maybe.
Yeah, what are you at right now? 230,
225, 226.
Yeah. So when you cut, I mean, just losing 15 pounds, especially if that's 15 pounds of fat, and keeping around the same amount of muscle or whatever that you have now, like you're gonna look real good.
Well, in regards to being in our primes but out of shape, my dog Bobby we let him out in the back to go pee.
Yeah,
he never leaves. 2 weeks ago, went across the street. We're like, what the fuck? Got him back. Then last week, our neighbor was like, I think your dog just walked by us. He's like headed down to the park. And so I just immediately, I was sitting on my couch watching football, just went into a dead run down to the park. And I made it to the park. I wasn't like super out of breath or nothing, but my fucking back the next day, my lower back on the right side was just, I was in pain. I was like, Jesus, Jesse.
Yeah.
A quarter-mile run. And when I got down there, I'm like, man, I was moving pretty all right.
Yeah.
Calves are tight as shit already.
Yeah, it's after playing, because I went to the gym on Wednesday and I did like squats, leg extension, leg curls, like some leg workouts, because the P90X leg workout is fine, but I just don't have it's a lot of like kind of plyometric stuff too, so I just don't have a lot of room in here and out of the room.
Yeah.
And so I just decided, hey, probably better work out if I just crush some shit. But so my thighs were sore, and then I went and played ball, and because of that, you kind of overcompensate.
Yeah.
So then my shins started to hurt, not necessarily shin splints, but like right now
sitting
it's
on
like,
a toilet all weekend.
it wasn't that bad because I didn't go too hard, because I knew that like if I threw on
That's
185, 200 pounds, because I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
But then I knew like I was gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
And whenever I do this too, like it was a little tough, and my
ego lifting.
My left knee kind of would like buckle sometimes. Like it'd be like, oh fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, I'm gonna fall down these stairs.
I have an assist bar right by the toilet.
Oh yeah,
I put it in for my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
But
you use it all
I have
the time?
used it on like when I went back to squatting. I'm like,
yeah.
Sit down so I don't break the toilet.
I think one thing too that people don't necessarily think about when it comes to physical fitness and just being active is how much better it helps you feel mentally.
Oh yeah, clear.
Way better, because I've been dealing with some decent depression of like with my job and like I always hate it when I feel, and I think society kind of makes you feel this way too.
Society pushes it on you.
But like you feel like you should have your shit figured out.
Yeah.
You know, like you're 27 and then you go and then you do the thing that I think ruins everybody, which is you compare yourself to other people. Mm-hmm. Oh, James has a house. He has a wife. He has a great job. Yeah. She has a great job. Oh, you know, X, Y, and Z is doing the things that I want to be doing, and I'm just stuck here in the same thing, and I don't have a job that I like. I really do envy that. I think that that's having a job that you really do enjoy, or enjoy enough to like not dread going to in the morning, or whenever you have to go, is such a huge thing. So I have a pretty decent plan of what I think I'm going to be doing here shortly, of what I'm going to do with the studio and helping John and attempt to do my own thing. And then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The hardest part is now that you're getting older and I do want to have a house and I've been working over a year to like do those kinds of things, is that if you go to be self-employed, like you fuck yourself for 2 years.
You have to have 5 years of self-employment, I think.
Yeah, it just depends. I think 2 years is like the minimum.
Yeah.
But you have to like really prove.
You have to prove that you're making money.
Yeah.
You're responsible. No, me personally, I think I do a good job of not comparing myself to stuff.
Yeah.
And if I do, I try to check myself pretty quick. Not to say that I don't ever do those things.
Sure.
But I am very cognizant of mental health. So that's for me, like I know that I have to have alone time. Like I have to have time for me to just unwind and be by myself and gather my thoughts and organize, my folders and whatnot. But I think society gets, again, like kind of the Joker thing where it's so far pushed that like every little thing is a fucking mental illness.
Yeah.
That people just start self-diagnosing, and it's not the case at all.
Yeah, so that is the hardest part, is like, I don't know, but there have been times where it's like, maybe I should go talk to somebody.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at
me either.
all. I think you being aware of it shows that you're not a lunatic.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, that's actually a line that I always remember from Lost. Is like one of the guys is like, I think I'm going crazy. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, how do you know? He's like, because crazy people don't know they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, because he thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, they think that they're getting saner, like they're finding their way. Mm-hmm. And I think now this is kind of a huge blanket statement, but my belief is that if you are struggling with mental things, get the fuck off the internet. Yeah, get off the social media shit. Like, use Google and do whatever you need to. But if you're posting about how hard your life is and about how you're struggling with this and that, it's like, what, in my opinion, now I'm not a doctor or anything, but what it would do to me is it would make me be so focused on that thing because I'm putting it out there, and then everybody knows your business.
Yeah.
Everyone's commenting about it. Then if you do have a real mental illness of having anxiety, now part of that, you could have the anxiety that people are talking shit behind your back. They think certain things because now you have this, you put this out there. And it's like, if you really do struggle with depression or maybe suicidal thoughts or something, don't put that shit out there.
Yeah. Stop being so tethered to this.
Yeah. Get the fuck off of it and go really work on yourself. And that's one thing that
if you're not eating right, mental health is if you're not outdoors,
Jim Carrey talked about,
you're not out doing things. Yeah. That's what people are supposed to do. We're not supposed to be confined in these houses with a computer with our eyes glued to a screen. If you're not doing those things, then from me, and it may sound a little bit harsh, but like I feel like I can talk to people pretty well.
Yeah.
You don't have a mental illness. You're just not proactively trying to make yourself happy or giving yourself an opportunity to be happy.
Yeah.
It's like what you just said. Wanting a positive experience is a negative experience.
Yeah.
So when you constantly just dwell on something and like you continuously think about, well, he has this and he has that and I want that, and that's completely negative. You're not working towards it. You got to continue to flow. You can have that thought.
Yeah.
But now,
Put it into action.
Use it. Put it into action. Use it as fuel. Don't continuously think about that.
Yeah, I watched.
Work to it.
John sent me this thing from The Rock, and I posted on my story.
I watched it.
Which is like, for him, even though he's the fucking Rock, and with the success that he's had, he wakes up every day and is like, my back's against the wall, and I have to work harder than every person out there. And he's like, and he's doing it to like he's talking to the Lakers.
I was wondering who he was talking to, a football team or
it said like the LA Laker organization or whatever the fuck it said on the screen. He's like, I love all you guys. You guys are great athletes. You won't fucking outwork me.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I watched it.
And all this stuff, and there is, just for me, the more and more I see people talk about it on like Facebook or Twitter, I never see them actually break the mold because they're just dwelling on that negative emotion, those negative thoughts. And I don't really like to put it out. Like, I don't like, if I have a thing that I, even like talking with my friends and family is really hard because I don't want to put my,
Well, you feel vulnerable and you feel that someone will interpret what you're trying to say in a different way than you're trying
right.
to
Like if I
convey
go, like
it.
if I talk to Tanya, this is just an example because she's never been this way. But if I talk to Tanya, this is the fear was I'd be like, I'm really unhappy. The initial response from her would be that she thinks that I'm unhappy with her and us, and that she'll take it in a way that I have to like backpedal, and like now I have to remove my chance to like really vent. And I also think that like if I said, hey Jesse, dude,
you can vent to me, dude. People vent to me privately all the time.
No, I know. But like if I said, dude, I'm really scared that I might kill myself. Like if I said that to you.
Yeah.
Now I put some really heavy shit on you to make you have to like feel, and then let's say you don't do shit and then I do it, then you feel like maybe you're partly responsible for it. Like, so that's why I always like, I don't want to put my insecurities, my problems that I'm dealing with right now, depending on how severe they are. If they're very severe, I want to go put that on somebody who's like trained to like deal with somebody like that. Yeah. Because they do it on a constant basis. And if you do it to your friends or your family or whatever, now they're treating you different. They're acting as though you're fucked up or whatever it might be. And that's why I think is a big reason why I don't want to see people posting it on social media, is because then they just get the like, you're a victim, you're this thing, and it's like you have to do some shit. The Jim Carrey talked about it, you kind of talked about it. Like, he's like, I believe in anxiety, I believe in depression, I believe in all these things. But, big but, if you're not actively seeking help, if you're not actively being physically active, if you're not going outside, if you're not getting off technology, if you're not eating correctly, if you're not exploring spirituality in some sense, like if you're not doing shit, you probably could have that, but you're not doing anything to like get rid of it. Yeah. And I'm a huge person, like if I get when I was sore, my mom was like, do you want Advil or like you know, or do you want ibuprofen or whatever? I was like, no.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Like I don't want anything. And the other day it was so bad, like I couldn't like bend my arm for whatever reason, so I did take stuff, but I don't want to be like reliant. The other day I had a really big reliant. Reliant. Like I've had issues with attention. Like I do too much shit and I just don't know I don't know how to focus anymore. And so I was like, maybe I have ADHD. Like maybe I should go get fucking tested and see if I need like Adderall or some shit. Like I actually need it, not do I want it, but I actually need it. And then I was like, dude, I don't want to be like on fucking Adderall. Like I don't want to be taking Adderall.
Dude, I think
I just need to figure it out.
I've told you 100 times to try and meditate one time.
Yeah, meditate. I think
you
is
don't
big thing.
try.
I haven't tried. No.
Yeah. No one tries, and it sounds stupid. It sounds hippie. It sounds whatever, dude. All you need is 20 minutes, and meditating is just sitting. Meditating is being completely fine and content with doing nothing. You don't have to try and actively think about nothing. Yeah. Because your mind isn't going to let you do that. Your mind's going to go through everything you have to do. So I'm picturing your mind, Mitchell, because you have so much shit. I got to do this. I got to do this. I have to do this. I don't want to go to work. I have to do this. How do I convey this? And you're constantly trying to process all these things at once. Yeah. Let your mind do that. Let it do that at the start of a session. Just sit quietly. Take some deep breaths through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. You know your surroundings. Close your eyes.
Do you listen to anything?
I stared because my dad was in the hospital, and my mind was racing, and I was not productive, and I needed mental health. You know, I wanted to be mentally healthy because my mom and my sisters need me, and I need to be there. So I can't just be like a fucking mental wreck right now, even though I want to be. Yeah. So Headspace. Yeah. It's like you can download it. There's free ones. They're like 10 minutes. And he like kind of talks you through it, kind of shows you how to work your breathing. And then I just kind of started doing what worked for me.
Yeah.
And it's just gives you the time to just sit and be present. That's the thing. We're never present in today's world.
Mm-hmm.
We're on a phone. We're in a conversation. We're on the computer. Even if we're present watching TV. You ever watch TV and you've been thinking about something different? You didn't see what happened on the TV?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like sometimes you start to read and whatever you're reading created a spark of imagination or reminded you of something, and you still are reading, but you're thinking about the other thing, and you get to the end of the page and you're like,
what just happened?
What the like, did I actually read that shit?
Yeah.
So
like what I'm saying is that we're never present. And even 10, 20 minutes of meditation allows you to be present or try to attempt to be present because you're doing nothing. Let your mind run through its shit and just sit there and do nothing and breathe for a little bit. You're by yourself. You'll feel better after that. Promise. Yeah. Try to work into a state where I always try to think when I'm getting into it, I want to be part of the room or part of where I'm at. I don't want to be in it. I want to be part of it. Like I want to be this fucking table right here. I want to be this table, inanimate object. So like we were talking about getting out and doing stuff. I was dreading going hunting last week. I love hunting. Didn't want to get up at 3:30 in the morning, drive through the dark, sit in the truck and wait. Didn't want to do it. The moment I got out there hunting, I looked up and saw the stars. It was like, wow,
like you're thankful.
I feel amazing.
That's how I kind of feel.
And you're present in hunting.
The other day when I was for basketball, because I always tell Devin, like,
basketball makes you present.
Yeah, I was like, Devin, like, keep asking me. Like, eventually I'm going to come. Like, just keep telling me that you're going. Keep asking. Like, I'm not going to come every time. Not every morning I want to wake up at 5.
Yeah.
But keep asking me. And sometimes I'd be like, oh, I might come. Like, I'll let you know. And I didn't go. And then he was like, I didn't think you were going to come. I was like, but I said I was going to. And he was like, yeah, but I'm like, but I never said, all those other times I never said I was going to come. Those other times I said I was thinking about coming.
Yeah.
This time I said, Devin, I'm coming this morning. Like, I'm going to go. And I think that's something that, like, I always had to tell myself, waking up in the morning is one of the harder things. But today, like, I got up at, like, 7:20.
Yeah.
And I get up, shower, start getting my coffee, do some stuff. And then once I'm up, I feel good.
Yeah.
And even on Friday when I played, because I got up at 4, I sent you a thing because I was laying in bed, like, scrolling through my stuff or whatever, waiting to kind of, like, get ready. I sent you something at 4, and you're like, dude, why the fuck were you up at 4? But I felt so, and then I played ball, and I stayed up, watched the movie, didn't feel like I felt tired enough to sleep, but I wasn't, like, exhausted.
The 4 o'clock hour is pretty crazy, too. It's silent.
Yeah, it's real quiet.
No one's outside.
Yeah, that's why it was weird, because I got up at 5. Like, I actually started getting stuff ready, and I had to bring clothes to shower at work and do all that shit, and I heard people, like, talking as they were walking over here, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, why is someone walking outside by my backyard at 5 o'clock in the morning? It was weird.
People are moving at 5.
People are doing their shit.
But people aren't moving at 4.
Yeah.
That's why The Rock talks about waking up at 4.
Yeah, it's like, what time does this motherfucker go to bed?
The only time I wake up at 4 is to fucking go hunting.
But, it's such an interesting dichotomy, because there is The Rock and there is that successfulness that comes with him, and waking up at 4 and knowing that you just have more time in your day because you're awake, especially if you're using it well to be successful. But then I watch shit like Joe Rogan, where he talks about how sleep is, like, one of the most important
superpower
things, and how, like, if you don't sleep, it's like one of the big, like, if you have really bad sleeping habits, it's one of the biggest components of you being sick when you're older. Is like you getting dementia and Alzheimer's, is like, because, like, it's one of those things that really affects you. And he did somebody with that did, like, a sleep study, or, like, he's like a sleep doctor or whatever the fuck they're called. And he talks about just how important good sleep is. So I'm like, dude, if he goes to bed, like, how much sleep do I need? Because my mom gets no fucking sleep.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that.
My mom goes to bed at, like, midnight to, like, 2 a.m. and gets up at, like, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and is always happy. Like, very, very rarely is my mom in a bad mood. She works all day, takes care of the house, like, very traditional, mom or woman in that sense. And she never fucking complains, and she loves that shit. And I'm just like, I go to bed at 10, wake up at 6. That's 8 hours.
And you're tired.
And I'm like,
groggy.
I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's 6, like it's fucking 6, and I'm awake. That's, like, for some reason I haven't been able to really switch it in my brain that, like, well, and I actually have this last week where I'm like, oh, like I got 8 hours. I need to get up. Like that kind of thing. Like I
Yeah.
got my sleep.
Yeah, if you sleep longer, sometimes it's a lot worse. You
Yeah.
get groggy.
But just like I think about that, I was like, oh, I really wish I could sleep until 9. And then like I go, yeah, but I went to bed at 10 and it's 6:30. That's 8.5 hours. I'm good. Get the fuck up.
Yeah. I really try to get 6 to 8. Like, and I typically probably land around 7 and a half. That's plenty for everybody probably. That's good for me. But
yeah, my guess is anywhere between 7 and 8 hours
think,
is like the key.
I think, one, our bodies are insane. So people who do not sleep well or don't sleep a lot, their bodies have adapted. That being said,
Yeah.
they probably could experience a big benefit from, like, you know, learning or figuring out how to get into a deep sleep.
Yeah, our bodies are nuts because, like you said, there's so many different things. But if there's like that science or that medicine where it's like if they rub certain parts of your feet, it helps like your pancreas and your liver.
Yeah.
And it's like how like
everything.
why?
There's like your feet are bottom of your feet are connected to everything.
Yeah, and so it's like there has to be more to like sleep and like getting good sleep.
Yeah.
Like REM sleep, not just like you know how like when you sleep on a plane, like you're asleep.
You're not asleep.
But yeah, it's like you're asleep, but like
you constantly think the plane's gonna go down, so you're not asleep. That's how I feel.
Yeah, no, not me. But you know, it's kind of like for a while I haven't like trusted my alarm to wake me up because there's been a bunch of times where I've set an alarm and like I'm sleeping and I'll turn that shit off when it goes off. Like I don't even remember turning it off.
I've done that, yeah.
And like I've slept through stuff, and so I don't trust it. So then my body is like, okay, the alarm's supposed to go off at 6, and then it knows to like wake me up at like 5:50.
Mm-hmm. So you get like you anticipate it.
Anticipate it, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just know that I'm gonna wake up from my alarm. Yeah, I have come to find out that I'm one of the few people who doesn't struggle with sleeping.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit, but I feel pretty good about it now.
Like
right now,
James has talked to me about not sleeping well. Devin, Gary, who I work with, everybody, my dad,
just struggling.
I feel like a lot of people just say like, oh, I have a hard time falling asleep. I have a hard time staying asleep. Say I wake up and go to the bathroom and can't stay asleep.
It's these. Where do you keep your phone when you sleep?
On my nightstand over here. But I try not to look at my phone for like a while before I go to bed.
Yeah, like you put it down.
Because it's not good to have blue light.
Yeah, I think that what's really hard for me is because of the things that like the ventures that I have with podcasts and you know, just other stuff. What it kind of requires pretty permanent attention.
Yeah, but I feel like you should create a rule for yourself.
I do need to. But what I've found and what I've been doing is once I get to work, because I get to work at like 7-ish, from like 7 to like 8:30, nothing really happens at Nike.
Yeah, you can handle your shit then.
And so I just do it then.
Yeah, I mean, I just pass out, dude.
Yeah. I've been getting better at it recently, and what I had been doing when I was really struggling with sleeping was I took melatonin, and I took melatonin for a couple days, maybe a week to a week and a half, like every day, because I was really having and it helped in the beginning, but then I remember by like day 10, 11, it wasn't doing shit. Like I was back to the thing, so then I stopped taking it, and I slept fine. And then when I started to have like a day where it was a little bit hard for me to sleep, I took it, and then I'd fall asleep, and then I didn't take it for 5 days. And then if I had a day where I was struggling, then I'd just kind of like bounce around.
You might be in the minority in that case, being able to bounce from using something and not using, because some people, very habitual, will just take it and continue to take it. Yeah,
well, that's what I was doing. I was like, I'm having such a fucking hard time sleeping, I'm going to take it. And then it was helping me fall asleep. But then I realized after, you know, like I said, 10, 11 days, I was just back where I was, and I was like, my body already got used to that shit. I'm going to get off of it. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I don't want to feel like I have to take stuff to fall asleep. And that was the other thing too, was edibles or smoking like would knock my ass out. Yeah. And like really good sleep. Mm-hmm. But I never want to feel like I am dependent on something other than just me to do something that's fucking normal, like sleeping. Yeah. But sometimes, dude, it's like, if I really want to sleep, yeah, that helps. But I'm doing sober October, so.
Yeah. I kind of have the same routine. when I go to bed, turn on the fan, open up my bed so it cools down.
I started reading because I got a bunch of new D&D books.
Reading helps me pass out. I just kind of have the same routine, and I just tell myself I'm prepping my body for bed. Like I'm prepping for sleep. I don't know. I feel like within the last 2 years, I've done a lot of work on myself mentally to try and like rewire my thought processes to like better myself physically, I guess. I don't really know how I'm conveying this, but there's a lot of shit that I struggle with that I overcame. Maybe minor to some people. Sleeping was one of those things.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, my mind would race. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I can't fall asleep. So I started meditating before bed. That helps like settle me down.
Yeah.
Breathing, like deep breathing is such a good exercise for people that no one does.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I still have times every once in a while, but most time I just I lay in bed and I pass out.
Yeah, not to air out too much stuff, but like Tanya was struggling a little bit with some anxiety for work because it's a new thing, you know, and new people and all those kinds of things. And she's really struggling with it. And I said, like, go to the doctor, like go talk to a doctor and see what's going on. And she's like, well, I don't want to take anything. I was like, fine, tell the doctor you don't want to take shit.
Yeah,
that's fine. But they can teach you these things that have helped other people, like you said, like deep breathing, meditation, or whatever it might be, where you don't have to ingest anything or eat some whatever. Like you can just figure something out that works for you.
Yeah.
And because at times, like I tell her, like, and I tell this to a lot of people, like I can take a lot of other people's stuff or their whatever
doesn't work for you.
But I don't. Well, I mean, like, I can take their criticisms or whatever's happening in their life and really listen. And then, but I'm also the person that, like, if you're gonna say some shit to me, like if you're gonna like if you're saying like you have a problem with this, I don't just sit and listen. I give you ways to fix that problem.
Have a solution.
And if you just want somebody to listen and like shut up and just listen to what you say, I'm not a person like that. Yeah. I can't help myself. Like if you're like, I'm like, do this, try this.
We're
and they're
similar.
Like, well, I don't want to do that. And you're like, well, then stop fucking talking to me about it then.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's weird because I'm somewhat of the opposite of when I'm dealing with a problem of my own. Like I kind of do the same thing. Like I talk about it, but then I never actively try and do stuff. So here's my plan. I'll tell you my plan for the studio. I've already requested to do part-time. So I requested to go from 7 to 4. That's my shift now, to like a 7 to noon or 7 to 1. As soon as I'm off, then I'd go to the studio and I would help out with scrubbing footage, renting out the infinity room, and whatever John decides to put into the back room, which I think he's going to do like a dark room or infinity room or some shit. And so I'll do that. If I don't get that, like if I don't get part-time by the end of October, then I'm going to retract my wanting to move my request to move to part-time, work full-time in November and December because that's super slow. As soon as Thanksgiving hits, like everyone's taking all their PTO because they're getting it, and they have the thing called Power Down at Nike, so like no one's there. Like last year during Power Down, which is like kind of like when I started, I brought my PlayStation 4 and I played Spider-Man.
The fuck?
Yeah, like my boss is like, yeah, just bring a game or like whatever, like do stuff when it's there, but like there's going to be a high majority of the time where you have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, then I can save up October, November, December, and then I'm going to put my 2 weeks in January, depending obviously on the studio's trajectory in these next couple months.
Yeah. But
I think John has a really cool place, and I think that it's somewhat for a lack of trying, but John's just
he's busy.
Priorities in another spot. He's too busy to deal with both things, and he needs somebody like me to be able to do a bunch of different stuff and who's really interested in it. And it's like, you know what my boss said to me the other day? So I was covering the tech bar, and he came over to talk to me, or to talk to Barbara, who normally is there, and she wasn't because I was covering for her. And he goes, hey, this is what's going on with your request. And he's like, but when you do end up moving over full time to the studio, just give me some time to know so I can hire somebody and replace them or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, like I would at least give you 2 weeks. And he's like, yeah, it's weird that I even have to ask because like if I didn't like you, like I could just fire you right now and you could go. And that's just what, you know, and it's weird, but that's just what it is. And a part of me appreciated like the candidness of that is what it is.
Well, maybe he can because they're not actually Nike.
Yeah, and like I appreciate, and like some of it's like, you know, I appreciate that. And I think as an employee, you kind of know that you could be laid off or fired. Yeah. And that's just what it is. But also to like hear your boss say it, I was like, yeah, like you could just fucking fire me if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. And you'd be replaced.
And I'd just be replaced, and it would be no skin off their back. They don't give a fuck. So I was like, dude, I want to work towards something that I actually care about. November, I'm going to start writing my book.
Yeah, I thought it was this month, but I remembered it was November.
So I'm going to start this. That's why I'm trying to train myself to like get up and be active so that I can kind of do stuff. And it's like 1,200 words a day. That's not a lot.
Well, dude, one, to respond to you working at the studio, I think taking a pay cut to better your mental health, because I think mental health is huge.
Yeah.
Is a positive.
Yeah.
Even if you're taking a pay cut, because I think we just naturally figure things out, and by we I mean humans.
Yeah.
Like you're scared at first, but you're gonna figure it out, and things work out for you. You know, things do work out. It might not work out immediately, but they do work themselves out. Give it time.
Be active, but give it time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just lost my other point. I was gonna respond to that, and then you said you were talking about
being replaced.
Being replaced. I don't even know where I was going now.
I fucking hate that.
I
do that all the time. Hold on. Being replaced, working at the studio, helping John, mental health by taking a pay cut.
Oh, you're talking about getting up and being active.
Yeah.
So last week when I went hunting, up at 3:30, went hunting, got back, was active the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like doing errands for myself.
Yeah.
Yesterday, went hunting, got back, sat down and ate for a little bit, got ready, and then I went to like Home Depot and bought parts for our sinks.
Yeah.
And then came back, ran errands, weed eated, put that stuff in. I was up from fucking 3:30 until 10.
Yeah. Felt good.
And I was good. I was a little tired at the end of the day where I just wasn't as like, because you know me, I'm a high energy guy.
Yeah.
I just wasn't high energy, but.
How's the Aloha game? Not to like take it off.
I mean, they're good.
What's wrong?
I was just kind of frustrated with how they, like the touchdown club used to be a thing where like people pay to get in there, you know, they pay for like their donors. I understand that. Normally when I would go there, I'd go to like one game a year every year. Mm-hmm. I would go through and I know a lot of the people in there. And I'm not an entitled person. I'm very humble. I'm not coming in there to say like, oh, I'm the fucking guy around here. Let me in. Normally I buy merchandise to help donate.
Yeah.
They were like, nope, former players can't come in. Nope, didn't even like let us in. Like for anything, I'm like, okay. So we go around, and then
like you didn't talk to like Volk or anything to like go in?
No, I guess they have all these super rules, and we saw the Cardonas driving in as we were walking out.
They still go to all the games.
Yeah. And then we met up with Doug.
We meaning you and Devin.
Me and Devin, yeah. And we were gonna try to talk to coaches because I know a bunch of them. Yeah. And about like walking down, standing in the corner of the end zone, away from everybody, just to watch the game. Yeah. And then Coach Bent was like, "Nope, you gotta pay $6." So I was like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll pay $6. I just want to get on the sideline and like watch the game from the sideline." Yeah. And then we eventually ran to Miss Sinner, who got us in free of charge for the stamps. And then Paula had called me and was like, come back to the touchdown club. And they like gave us bracelets. But they're like hella strict, dude. Like, no, do not go on the track. Stay in this area. And then Coach Casey was out there at the end. And I'm like, I'm going to go out there. And there's like a lady running the gate. I'm going to go out there and say hello to Coach Case. I'm getting ready to leave anyway. She's like, well, you got to ask that guy. And this guy was like, what do you not understand about the rules? That's how he said it. And I was like, thought he was joking a little bit, like with his accent. And I was already pissed. I was pissed when they didn't let us in. I was like, what the fuck is this, dude? Yeah. And I was going to give him my Boston accent back. Like, I understand the rules, And I was just like, no, I get the rules. I just think it's, I've grown up in Aloha. Yeah. Went through youth football when we were shit. Yeah. We had different tinted helmets, yellow pants, no money. Yeah. All of a sudden, it turns into this bougie-ass little spot. Yeah. Like, that really upset me. And then he was like, I was like, I'm going to go say hello to my coach. And then I'm going to leave. And then he was like, all right, go on there. Yeah. I was just upset about how I was treated. And I don't want to be treated differently than anyone else. I'm willing to buy stuff. I'm willing to pay for stuff.
Yeah, I mean. But,
like.
Well, I think a little bit you not necessarily want to be treated like different, but I think you've earned the right a little bit to be treated like. Well, not necessarily like a king or fucking something like that, but like enough to be, for them to be like, that's his coach that he won the state championship with, and he was coached in college. Like, yeah, like why did Coach Casey get to go?
Well, I mean, he's he's a head college coach, maybe recruiting, whatever. Aloha legend.
Sure.
That's why.
Yeah, I know, but
like,
you're not.
Even then, like, I was part of a championship team. Even if I just throw that at the door, I don't want to throw it out the door. I'm part of a championship team. We saw that Aloha beat Jesuit last week.
Yeah.
They're ranked 7th, 5th in the state, whatever it is.
Like 3rd.
We want to. No, it was like I saw 7th on the other thing. I heard 3rd all week, and then I heard another thing on Twitter said 7th.
I guess it depends, like coach's poll or whatever.
Probably whatever poll. But I was like, dude, there was a bunch of former athletes that just wanted to show up and show support for the new team.
Right.
Which is dope.
Right. Yeah. Which you should be like, yeah.
And they're like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, right here on osaa.org, activities, FBL.
You got them at 3?
But got them at 2 now.
2?
Yeah.
Wow. They looked really good. They threw the ball a lot. I've been around Low a long time.
So they have a Coley rating?
Uh-huh.
COLLEY rating. This is on just this site.
Yeah.
It says the rating is 649.763 and Tigard is 871.
Yeah, Tigard's 1.
So they're up there, and then like the RPI, they're at 675. And
that's strength of schedule.
And then Tigard is at 707.
Aloha might have a harder strength of schedule.
So,
no, dude,
I don't know.
They look really good. The kid, Reagan Wilson, I retweeted his highlight video. I've seen a lot of good athletes come to Aloha. I've seen a lot of good receivers. That kid
Mountainside's actually doing really well.
That kid might be the best I've ever seen.
In this area?
Yeah. Out of Aloha.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, someone just offered me $3,000 for my truck.
Oh, you selling a truck?
The GMC.
Oh, yeah.
I've had it posted for a long time. That's
on
cool.
like Craigslist?
OfferUp and Craigslist. I got offers, but people are lowballing me.
Yeah. Oh, no, I do think that's whack.
Yeah, I just thought it was pretty. I was just like, come on, man. I just want to watch the team. I've been here my entire life. We're a part of one of the best teams, whatever.
You are
I don't
part
even
of the
want
best
to
team.
be. I don't even want to have to say that. You know, it's just like we're big fans of Aloha. We put in the time. We put in the work. I always support Aloha.
Yeah.
I will pay the $6. I just want to stand on this fucking sideline away from everybody, not bothering anybody, and watch the game.
Yeah, I think that it's weirder that they would say no, but George Fox would say yes.
I can go to George Fox and bring people, and I'm taken care of.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I was just upset by it. I just felt like I was treated like dog shit. And then on top of that, we pay for a banner. Schaefer and Sons pays for a banner at Aloha. We also pay for a banner at Southridge. Southridge emails us every week like, hey, we have a special spot for you guys with food and drinks. You don't have to pay. You can bring your crew.
Yeah.
That's the mortal enemy, bro, and we're getting in there for free.
Yeah.
I'm ranting right now.
But that's a fair thing to say. Like, hey, like we pay for advertisement here. We get shit for it. We're only supporting you because this is where we grew up, and you guys don't give us anything, and you actually give us more heartache.
Yeah.
Than anything, and then we go over to the school where we don't like them really, but we know that they're bougie. They probably pay for fucking a lot of decks and fences, so it's a good marketing spot. We go there, and they give us whatever the fuck we want.
Dude,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
The lady was like, nope, no former players, no nothing. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, we pay for a banner. Don't we get in free? She's like, Schaefer gets in free. I'm like the right-hand man over there. I'm like, oh, nope, not you. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I was mad.
Yeah, it was almost like it's almost like they anticipated former players coming because they just beat Jesuit. So they had like
well, they said something about that. Like last week, there was players without the passes on the sideline at Jesuit or whatever. Again, they're probably not bothering people. They're probably just standing there cheering for the game. Yeah. Which I understand. It could be a liability thing. I get that. But like, yeah, they just turned us away. And then we got let in. Miss Sinner was like, yo, come through. Yeah, you're coming with me. You guys are getting in. You deserve to get into this game. Yeah. I was like, dope.
Yeah, you deserve and you earned it. So there is a part of that.
Paula called and was like, come back. Like, you guys are.
Yeah, the Cardonas were just like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, in my opinion, it's like they were told a specific thing. They probably felt like they couldn't make a decision, so they had to be somewhat whatever because they didn't want to get in trouble. But, and again, probably because, you know, they were, I don't know. But, like, in my opinion, I just think that, especially when it comes to, like, high school or whatever, if you have players who went through the shit, like, literally, like, for people who are listening who didn't go
2-7.
Yeah, for people who are listening who don't know anything about Oregon or know the Aloha area, Beaverton area, whatever, our high school from when we were young, like we were always athletic kids, but our high school was always fucking terrible. So when we were kids, we went to football games. It was mostly just the social thing because of how bad we were.
Yeah.
And not only that, but how bad we were treated by other schools based off of our lack of affluency.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have money, so we were just the shit. People, right? Like, oh, easy win against Aloha, whatever. And so that when we put in a lot of the work and hustle and grind to win what we did, and that's not, that's something that we really hold on to. And now that you guys, now that you guys are performing in a way that is similar to how you guys were performing then, and I'm sure you've gone to other football games since 2011, you wanted to like support, and you earned it. If I won the state championship for basketball and I came to a basketball game and I didn't, and they were just like, fuck you, I'd be like, dude.
And that's the thing. Like,
that banner up there, it's the only banner you guys got from here, and that's because of the people who are on that team.
Yeah, and I'm really not even trying to make anything about, like, me personally at all.
Yeah,
but I still want to be...
Yeah.
I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a part of it on the outside.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I want to be...
But if you look at credentials and different things, like, you are different from somebody in the crowd.
Yeah. I would hope so.
Yeah, like, like if just based off of what you've done, earned, deserved, like And there's no reason for you guys to not be able to sit at the end of the fucking field by the end zone and be cool.
I mean, shit. When we were back in the day at Aloha, at halftime, they would just open the gates. It's free to get in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you knew people in Aloha, Aloha's pretty small.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows, like at least growing up, everyone knew the athletes' families knew each other and shit. Like, it's like, come in, grab food, get water.
Yeah, and I think that's part
We're all broke here.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think that was part of that's really frustrating is that you went, hey, this is who I am and what I was a part of. Let me come in. They said no, and then you go, okay, well, as a backup, I'm the fucking I'm with this company and I help. Like we're part of this advertisement. They just had it in the back of their heads, like, we're not letting this dude in. They weren't going to let you win at all until somebody else, Sinner or the Cardonas, said something to him and been like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, you guys need to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And I think like there's obviously some rules, but a blatant, like, no matter what you said, like Coach Casey could have walked, like if Coach Casey didn't walk, didn't come say something, or the Cardonas or whoever, like they weren't even going to let you go talk to him.
Yeah. And this is like after I was already in the touchdown club and everything. At the end of the game when they were up 60-13, like, Anyway, just felt kind of like
lame.
Yeah.
But did you enjoy the game after that, or were you just pissed the whole time?
Well, you know me. Yeah. I was kind of like on edge most of it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed watching the football game. I love
They
football.
killed it, 61-12 or whatever the fuck it was.
They murdered them, dude.
Yeah.
From the start of the game, but. Yeah, I was just pretty upset about it.
Yeah,
I was upset about it at 3:30 the next morning. Went hunting, talking to my dad. He's like, "You need to stop being so entitled. You sound like a little bitch." I'm like, fucking, you're never on my side.
I agree with you, 100%.
But
how many games we got left? Sunset, Mountainside, North Medford. Oh, okay. They played North Medford at home.
North Medford. That's a random game.
Yeah, non-league game on the 25th. Their last game is November 1st, dude, and that doesn't even count playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's late.
Well, I mean, that's kind of when we were, I think.
Yeah.
Because state championship game was December 11th.
So deep. It was cold, but it wasn't that bad. But that was a good football day.
Yeah, it was probably like, I don't know, 60-something probably, I'm guessing. I don't know the temperature.
Yeah.
But overcast and cloudy, overcast 60, 70, that's my type of football.
Yeah. So they at Sunset next week, and then they play at Mountainside.
At Mountainside.
Mountainside's pretty good, dude. 4-1.
The school that took all the rich kids from Aloha.
They did, yeah. Took all the affluency, man. No money.
Yeah, Aloha State's getting fucked. That's what I mean. Like, Aloha's like the stepchild of everything.
Yeah.
The oldest school, maybe outside of, like, Beaverton, Sunset.
Yep.
And it was just run that way for so long. Man.
Yeah,
we used to get our football pads, like, out of a shed. Like.
Yes, dude. You
remember that shit? Out of a shit field at Mountain View that was rounded as fuck with sand. We had the oldest track, which wasn't 400 meters. It was 400 yards. We had the oldest scoreboard. We were the last school to get money. It's like that's what we grew up in.
And
I never paid for football.
Yeah.
Because I was on free and reduced. I just worked it under the coaching staff doing filings and stuff every summer. Like, to me, it's like that was Aloha, and it's just like
changed.
It was completely different.
Yeah,
like, even from last year, and it kind of upset me, to be honest.
Yeah, more of traditionalist.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this? This is not Aloha.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
They're lucky. I almost left too. I almost was like, I'm fucking out of this shit, dude. I was upset.
Yeah, I could see that.
But maybe there's new stuff that I'm not seeing. You know, even then, I'm still trying to just rationalize. Like, maybe from my perspective, I'm not seeing what they saw or what they're trying to accomplish with this. And so I get it a little bit, I guess. I was just really upset about it.
Nah, fuck that, dude. Yeah, that's lame. I think that's super lame. I think that, yeah, I don't know. I think that there is a certain amount of, like, you achieve something that the school has never achieved before. You are part of something that the school has never achieved before, and you're not trying to.
I'm not trying to exploit that.
Yeah, you're not trying to exploit it. You're just trying to support.
It's the first game I went to this year.
Yeah, like, you're trying to support it and be an integral part of the community.
Yeah. And
Aloha this is one thing that bummed me out, but also really cool, is Aloha's always been a football community. They've never been about any other sport, really. The same amount of people never showed up to basketball games, especially when we were doing good, too. Like, we broke bleachers for football games. Like, obviously not on purpose, but because we packed it and we were just so crazy. And I think that it is slightly disrespectful that they would act like their shit doesn't stink and that they're better than I mean, they're different. Like, they're acting better than Southridge. Like,
everyone on the field at fucking Jesuit, dude.
Yeah,
Jesuit of all places.
Yeah,
last week.
Some place that you would think that would be. So maybe you just got the shit out of the stick. Maybe some of the people who got on the field were being assholes or doing the wrong thing. So
maybe,
but either way, they should. I don't know, but it's just crazy to me that, like, Sinner and the Cardonas are like, no,
yeah,
and then they run it.
I was like, yeah, that's right. When I walked back over there, I was like, yeah, that's fucking right, bitch. Just stamp my hand and give me that bracelet right now.
They're like, oh shit, he's back. yeah, that's nuts, man. Well, whatever. That's a bummer, but I'm glad they won. I'm glad they're doing good. Good talk today.
It was good. I always enjoy Sunday morning.
You want to guess how long it's been without looking at the phone?
Well, I already looked at the phone earlier. So probably like 2 hours and 23 minutes.
2 hours, 16 minutes.
Dang,
you're close though. 5 minutes, or 7 minutes. Math is hard. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys listening. This week coming up, we have the next guest on Friday is my cousin Michael. Super funny episode. He's got a lot of really cool stories.
I'm excited to hear that.
Don't forget, on this Thursday, we created a new Survivor breakdown recap show that we're doing that comes out every Thursday, the day after the episode airs, which you guys can watch Survivor on CBS on Pacific time. It comes out at 8 p.m. And so you guys can check me and Dylan talking about that, the most current episode. Other than that, the next following week after Michael, so next, I don't know what that is, October 18th or something like that, Grant Meyer will be on the show. He'll be coming, and then I'll announce the guest for the Friday after that on next Monday. We really appreciate it, and make sure to follow us at Neighbor Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you visit livewaywardandwild.com, use Neighbors15, you get 15% off. And yeah, thanks guys. We really appreciate it. Bye-bye.